All right, cool. It's connecting for YouTube. It says connecting. All right, cool. We should be good. Is YouTube up?
Nice.
Hopefully.
Nice. I have to wait and see.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, cool. Wait. Yo, what's up, guys? Todd over here. Welcome to the Pocket Mads $250 prize pool. Tournament number 4. Greninja is banned, which is absolutely insane. So again, really changes up the meta. A lot of new decks have been flying through in the Swiss rounds. Yep. My name's Todd Joma again. I'm casting a lot of the grassroots tournaments, again, with Pocket Mads as well, too. But again, this is the one and only Pocket Mads. Maddie, how are we doing today?
Yo, what's going on, Tosh? I'm excited, and I'm glad to have you back. I know you were busy last week, but, we got the crew back together this weekend. Greninja banned. It was an interesting kind of last-minute decision, but I think a lot of people were pretty happy about it, I would say. I was curious to see just what it would be like, and yeah, basically 0 Suicune decks at all. Very little water decks in day 2 today. 27 different archetypes will be playing in Top Cut, all the way from Aerodactyl EX to Buzzwole EX and Flareon, and there's just so many different things that ended up popping up this weekend, Taj, just because of the banning of Greninja. But we do have a sponsor this weekend as well, Taj. Shout out to Box.gg for sponsoring this weekend's tournament and probably some other future tournaments. But yeah, man, it's very exciting. I'm really happy.
Right. Now, Maddie, it looks like YouTube is not quite connected yet. It could be due to delay. And also, chat, we are using a delay. So if you guys are behind, I don't know if it's either due to like we have to wait. Because it does say connecting for me, Maddie. So that could be a thing. But is at least Twitch up? Because if Twitch is up, then we can.
I don't think there's anything up on Twitch yet, just because we are on that delay. So I don't have anything up there at the moment. Normally it'll tell you that like the stream has started, but like it won't be on OBS. It'll tell you, but like on the streams you won't see anything because like the feed takes.
Oh, because the delay, right? So
right, but I don't see anything on my end on the YouTube side of things to get it started, right? Like because I just see no data, but that's just because I think.
Right.
It doesn't have
now, when you did it last week, also guys, this is like normal. Don't worry about it, guys. Right? So when you did it last week, was it you have to like wait for the delay too, or like how did that?
Yeah, basically. But like in OBS, it was telling me that it was like recording, and it would give me like a countdown until it would start to broadcast.
So it does. Oh wait, okay. So it does say delay on mine starting in X amount of seconds. Okay. Yeah. So I guess. Okay, cool. Sweet. Super sorry, guys. Let's get into it. So we're gonna be covering. We're gonna switch over to the overlays. So we do have Bio versus Yuri. So again, Maddie, we're on the screen of again like the actual like gameplay.
Yep.
We're also going to be getting rid of the the hand hiding, right? Maddie, do you want to kind of go over that really quick while we set up too? So
yes, yeah. So the reason why we've started to do a delay on the stream is just because I think it's a better viewing experience. Pokemon Pocket games go so quickly that like if the feed is 10 minutes behind, then anybody that might be watching the stream is not going to be able to gain like any advantage from the match. And this way we can showcase everything. We can show the players' hands, and we can see the full board, and we can have all of that information and context to talk about. And I think it'll make it a little bit more of an interesting experience, both as us as casters, but of course the viewers as well, right? So that's kind of what I'm hoping for. But we are officially starting the bracket here, and I can go ahead and let our players know to play our first round. Now, we had 69 people, Taj, in Top Cut, so
nice.
We do have like a couple of matches and technically a top 128. But we're going to be reserving a top 128 match, which is actually going to be Flareon versus like an Aerodactyl EX deck, which is really fun. And then on round 2, we actually have a Ho-Oh Lugia versus a Dragonite matchup, all reserved for you guys. So that's going to be our first 2 matches. But yeah, I'll go ahead, Taj, and I can let them know that we're ready to begin.
Yeah, so we're good to go. I already told Lamp. So once we get everybody going through, and again, I apologize, guys. This is my first time streaming with the delay. So again, if there was like a weird like what's going on, so we're basically in the future. Ooh. But again, you guys are going to see awesome gameplay. Again, super stoked for this tournament because as we wait for our players to get started, Maddie, there's a bunch of crazy decks, right? Let me pull up kind of again the standings, right? So as we kind of let our players get started, right? So we're showing the screen right now, Maddie. Basically the standings, right? So we do see a Flareon EX run by Evan, and then Prelux running Snox Darkrai. So again, no Greninja, right? So like, where's Suicune? There is a big drought. Like what? Like is Greninja actually the key for Suicune? Like thoughts on that, Maddie?
Yes. Yeah, and that was the reason why we banned Greninja and not Suicune, right? Was because I think a lot of people were like, why would you ban Greninja? But truthfully, what we saw after last week's development, Taj, while you weren't there, was that a lot of people swapped even from just playing the normal Suicune Greninja deck to playing Oricorio and Greninja, and it still basically ended up not only winning the tournament, but dominating in a lot of different ways. So not only was the number one, but also the number two most played deck, both Greninja decks, basically. And to me, I thought that was enough. We were approaching the end of the season, and I said, you know what? I'm going to ban Greninja, and it worked. Basically, no Suicune decks anywhere in day two. In fact, out of the 69 people, I think one person is playing Suicune, and they're playing it with Tentacruel, which is a pretty fun deck. But yeah, virtually no water, because to be fair, none of the water decks are really worth playing unless you're playing Greninja. Just because there's a lot of lightning.
Which is wild. That's wild.
Yeah.
That one Pokemon to stage 2 can definitely like make or break the game. Again, looks like our players are still trying to get set up here. Whoops.
Okay.
So yeah, looks like they're still trying to get set up. So we're gonna wait on this a little bit. Do you have the game popped out? Like, do you have their POV popped out as well? In Discord?
I do not yet.
Okay, cool.
I was gonna wait until they're
So
ready
you
to
can
go.
cue me in so I can switch it over. So let me know when it does go live. So yeah,
I got you.
what's crazy too is that Maddie, while we're waiting, letting our players set up, and also everybody should be starting to play now.
I think we're good. I think we're good.
Okay, cool. Is their match started yet, or?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay,
think
cool,
they
cool,
just
cool.
hopped
Okay, cool. All right, sweet.
in.
Cool.
Yeah, we don't want to show anything.
No, yeah, sweet.
But yeah, looks like we're immediately hopping into it. So this is going to be a Lycanroc deck with one Aerodactyl, and I believe I should pull up the deck, but I believe he's playing just sort of like a fighting toolbox deck. Is
Yeah.
it?
So in the deck, yeah, with BioWiz, what they're using Lycanroc, which is cool. So basically, Lycanroc, what the does Lycanroc, basically the Rockruff allows you to grab a Lycanroc and then go ham. So basically, it's kind of like Rock Ramp. That was kind of the OG meta.
Yes.
What's super cool with the Aerodactyl is that allows the active Pokemon on the opponent's side not to evolve. So
right,
that's
which is going to be really important in a variety of different matchups. Although I would say that there's less Pokemon evolving in the active position than really ever
100%.
before.
100%.
But it does deal, I think, 80 damage for a couple energies. It's a fighting type, so you can hit a lot of lightning type Pokemon for weakness. But the Lycanroc there is the only basic in the deck, or I should say the Rockruff, the only basic in the deck that's not a fossil, right? So realistically speaking, you're guaranteed to lead with that Rockruff, which means you can basically always use that sign of evolution attack to thin out your deck, which is very valuable, right? In general. So I like the deck. I think it's creative. I think it's unique, and it is playing Rampardos, which means it's, it always can win. Rampardos is one of the most broken Pokemon of all time.
Yeah. I mean, and the cool thing is about your tournament, right, Matt, is that you didn't ban Rare Candy. So you can still use Charizard. You can still use Rampardos, like you said. Now, the big thing, though, what is the issue against a Stage 2 deck is hand destruction, right? So that Mars, beautifully played, basically reducing the chance of getting Rare Candy and the Stage 2. We do, but again, as you can see, we can see the cards though, right? Research is drawn. Yeah, we can see that. So we have the guesswork, right? So, now if I was, Biowitz, I would probably, be attacking with the Blood Fang because there's just a bunch of babies in the front line, right?
Yeah. And what's interesting, Tosh, is that he's playing 2 Cranidos, even though he's only playing 1 Rampardos, right? So it's very likely that he does at least get that stage 1 Pokemon out, which does actually do enough damage with weakness to KO or Oricorio. So I think that the double Cranidos just makes it a little bit more likely to at least have something other than a fossil on your bench. And I think that's pretty cool. So as we see here, he has Giovanni in hand. He's got a couple of different damage modifiers in the deck, but he's playing double Cranidos, and he does have Cranidos and Rampardos in hand, as well as being able to take the KO here on the Magby with Lycanroc. And he gets the Rocky Helmet Tosh, which is a really big deal because the math ends up working out, right? The Rocky Helmet plus Rampardos damage next turn will be enough to KO that Flareon EX. So
the math will be mathing for sure. So
the math is mathing. It's really cool. It's actually really cool to see a deck like this, doing its thing.
Specialist Miller buys in bulk.
And also too, what's it called? I believe he does run. Oh, he doesn't run a red, so he couldn't really one-shot at 150 anyway, but that would still be good to have, right? So
yeah, he's got 1 Rocky Helmet. He's got Giovanni. Is he playing red? I don't know if he's got red in the deck, actually.
He doesn't have. It's only a Giovanni, so it doesn't one-shot, which is interesting, but you do have the helmet to kind of put that in there, right? So, and basically, like you said, right, the helmet is key there because it takes it down to 20 damage and 130 head smash, and game 1 of Pocket Mads number 4 goes to Biowitz, so...
Yeah, it's the fighting toolbox deck. I think there's a lot of merit, I think, in this format right now. I believe that a lot of the fossil stuff in Rampardos really could have been exceptionally strong this season if Greninja hadn't been that popular. You know, the ability to kind of hit damage on the bench. By the way, the YouTube stream is now going live, so
cool.
I'll make a way.
Okay.
I'll ping out to everybody.
Cool.
But yeah, anyway, so it's interesting. I really do think that the fossil stuff is really strong, Rampardos specifically, but because Greninja was so common, Taj, you know, the fossils were a bit of a liability, right? Just being able to get pinged by Greninjas and take, you know, easy KOs like the baby Pokemon. But no Greninja this weekend, Todd. So I think you know, Rampardos was actually kind of a smart play.
And the crazy thing is, right, is and also Twitch is up too. So again, hello everybody there. Again, we are all, the delay is all good. So what's super dope is that we're literally a game ahead. So now there's no sniping, nothing at all, right? Players can continue their match as well. So but anyway, so what's super dope is, right, Pokemon, and guys, right now we're waiting for Bio and Yuri to start their next match, right? So,
best of 3.
basically the crazy thing, and this is a best of 3, correct? So, crazy thing is, right, is the 130, 140, right? The magical number is kind of 140, I would say. But what Greninja does is allows you to get over that hurdle, right? The 20 ping and also over time and anywhere on the board is very devastating when you only have 3 bench. So, it's a... I loved Greninja. One of my favorite decks, you ready, is Darkrai Greninja and Druddigon. So I loved running. Yeah, I love. Oh, not Druddigon. Pardon me. What's the dude with the bonk bonk? I forget his name already. Chat, let me know.
With the what? With
the one that counters attacks with the. God, why am I drawing a blank here? The Dragon type Pokemon that.
With Ruffskin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Druddigon.
Oh yeah. So basically, basically pinging everywhere with you know, 20 damage, and again 130 with Arceus, 130 with Giratina, just get you that 150, and it's so good, right? So
I think the big issue with Greninja was 2 things in my mind in terms of the unhealthiness of Greninja this season. One was, of course, just that Suicune drew a bunch of cards, right? With Suicune being a basic Pokemon, having a lot of HP, having access to 2 Irida, you kind of just moved through your deck really quickly, and there would be times where Greninja would come out on turn 2. And if you really think about it, Taj, the average Pokemon Pocket game goes like, what, 8-10 turns or whatever?
It's only 8 turns, so it's very fast now.
But that's like still like plus 80, plus 100 damage throughout the game that Greninja's doing just by sitting on the bench.
Right, and it stacks.
And you can hit, and it stacks, and you can hit the bench, and you're playing double Cyrus in the deck. Right. It's just very, very good. Right. But anyway.
Right. Yeah, we are going into our game 2 here again. Biowaz versus Yuri's Isle. Biowaz just got the cards he needed. I think Yuri did the best that they could do. Right, they got the Flareon online. They don't run the cape, so they can't really do anything much. So. I think what Yuri needs to just do this next match is hopefully Bio doesn't get the Wombo combo, right? Which is, again, a helmet plus a Rampardos, which is really tough because Bio doesn't have any draw. So
right. We do see a giant cape, so that could be useful on maybe an Aerodactyl EX to go up to maybe a little bit above maybe Flareon's KO threshold. But we do see that Yuri goes first this game, which means that we're not going to see a turn 2 Flareon come out. But, you know, Rockruff, again, the only Pokemon that we can lead off with, right? For Biowiz, it's the only basic Pokemon in the deck, so we're immediately kind of guaranteed to get that Lycanroc up and running, right, with Signs of Evolution. So it's a deck that is always going to be at that you know, spot, especially going second. It's going to be really, really good. But we do see the Repel. You gotta love the Repel play. One of the unique aspects of the Fossil deck is that, of course, you can't retreat. So you either evolve this active Pokemon or you have to discard the Fossil. And unfortunately, you know, he doesn't have any additional ones in hand, right? So it's definitely Repel's such a good card, probably one of the best cards of this past 2 seasons, really, because, you know, it's been the same metagame. Repel has been so strong for the last like 2 months, and I kind of expect it to be maybe a little bit less good as we get into maybe the B1 metagame with the Mega Pokemon. But basic Pokemon are always strong, Taj, and unless something major changes, Repel is just going to be an incredible card for the near future.
Yeah, and also too, like, if you think about this with the Repel, it's funny when it first came out. People were like, what is this? You know, like it definitely wasn't like a Beast Wall, because Beast Wall is one of the best cards ever, right? So, but again, Repel, we're just like, why don't we just use Sabrina? Why don't we use Cyrus? But now, seeing the game develop was really cool. Like, oh, people brought back the Repel, right? It's an item card that you can use for a disruptive backline attack. But again, that was during the time where we had stage 2s. Charizards,
Yeah, a lot
right?
of stage 2s.
So it's like
right after
repel.
Rare Candy came out.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, what was this for? Now, if
Right.
your bio is right, I think he's debating if he wants to sack the old Ember.
Yes.
Now, if he
Yeah.
discards it, he doesn't lose a point. But if it gets KO'd by an opposing Pokemon, it does lose a point for bio.
Yeah, and he doesn't have any other basics, right? So if you discard the Fossil to get that Lycanroc in the active, if he does go Flareon next turn and KOs you, the game's over because we don't have any more Pokemon. Now, one thing that he could do here, Taj, is just kind of stay in and Rocky Helmet the active because his only real attacking option here is going to be potentially an evolution Pokemon, and he's not playing Jolteon, so he could put in the Rocky Helmet the active Amber, and then the old Amber, and then maybe try to finish the KO with Lycanroc, but that's of course not guaranteed, right? So probably best, and the Flareon does come down, so he's gonna have to sort of hope that he draws into something here. But this is the downside, right, of these fossil decks, is that we're not playing any Pokeball, I don't believe, in the deck, so there's just no way to really draw any more basic Pokemon or fossils other than to just sort of draw into them naturally. So he's going to be sort of forced here to maybe be able to do something against this Flareon, but realistically, the Lycanroc is not going to be able to do it, so unless he has something off the top deck here that's going to allow him to bench something else, then, yeah, he really can't do anything here. But, Flareon is such... it's such an interesting deck list because sometimes it does absolutely nothing, but sometimes it's just sort of feels unbeatable, and I think that's why Flareon's been pretty unique, I think, in the format. And we do see the Giovanni top deck, so that's likely just going to be that's just going to be it here as we see the concession from BioWiz. This is the type of matchups here, right? Both decks very reliant on drawing specific cards. You're either doing exactly what you want to do or you're not really doing anything at all. That Repel, though, did kind of slow him down for a turn, right? Basically won him the game, realistically, if you kind of think about it, because, he removed a basic Pokemon and then, knew that he was living an attack from Lycanroc. So that early game Repel ended up being the difference there. But we'll go into game 3 and we'll see if, either player gets the advantage here. I will say I'm kind of rooting for the Fossil deck, but as we know, it might not be the best deck in the tournament in terms of overall consistency, but definitely a cool one.
I'm just so excited for the Fossil support. When that happens, it's going to be ridiculous.
If we ever do get it, then Rampardos is going to be on another level. Yeah,
I'm definitely a big Rampardos user for sure. I'm a Candy user. I like the high roll. Charizard user here, you know what I mean? Like, no, just go face, no skill kind of thing. So I do want some sort of Fossil support eventually, like Roarark coming in as a support card, drawing a Fossil from your deck. Just something, or gyms. Gyms would be kind of sick too, like a stadium of some sort. Like, again, the TCG counterpart. Yes. So
I would love stadiums for sure.
Yeah, just like then, and also too, like, it'd be a sideboard, right? So like it wouldn't count as your 20. It'd just be like add 2 stadium cards to the deck, and that's what you have, right? So
that would be really cool. Yeah, I would like that. Actually.
But then how would you draw into it though? I feel like,
well,
I'm sure they'll figure something out, like a chart, like it only comes out turn 3 or something like that,
Right.
But then how do you replace it? Anyway, here we go. Sorry. we're theory crafting too much. Yeah, we're theory crafting too much. But yeah, I
think stadiums would be fine if you could just, throw maybe one in your deck. Maybe you draw it, maybe you don't. I don't know.
Right. This is round 3, though, or match 3, again, of the tournament. Again, BioWiz versus Yuri Zyle with no delay, with 10-minute delay. So we can see the hand. And look at the Rock Roof expected from Bio. And then also the Eevee, no Magby. So it might be a little bit slow for Yuri.
Here.
Yeah, Skull is huge.
Skull Fossil's big with Granados and Rampardos in hand. Now, the one thing, though, is that we also have the old Amber. We've yet to see Aerodactyl this game. But in a scenario like this, where your opponent does go first and lead the Eevee, it could be very beneficial potentially to get that Aerodactyl on board if we are able to draw into it. Now, I will say that Yuri here on game 3 is leading Eevee going first. So no baby Pokemon, no going second. That is probably the least advantageous, possible start possible, because he will be getting KO'd next turn by this Lycanroc unless he evolves. So, but we do see that, that Rampardos will be up and running. No Rocky Helmet, but we do see this Sabrina. So there could be some really interesting stuff that happens this game. We'll really just have to see what Yuri is able to pull out. But I would say, in terms of early game advantage, I would say that BioWiz is doing kind of where he's where he wants to be. We'll see if Yuri is, but oh yeah, this is the Flareon. This is the life of a Flareon player, Tosh.
Well, the cool thing is, though, right? If you have the energy and you could add the energy to Eevee, right, and then get KO'd. Ooh, this is aggressive though. But the evolution of Sylveon and that spot right there, like you said, if they had the Aerodactyl EX, Sylveon wouldn't be able to evolve, right?
Right. Exactly.
So again, extra draw, and that's why, like you said, right? That's the power of Flareon, is that it's a stage 1. It can pop off insanely fast, and you also have some draw with Sylveon. I feel like Flareon does need Sylveon just for the extra 2 cards to get through. It is pretty. You definitely need that. So I do like this retreat here because it does get an energy into the discard, so that goes onto the EVX. So next turn, Flareon can pop off with the Fire Spin.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and he was able to get the baby Pokemon draw with Sylveon. He was able to draw into Sylveon. So as far as that turn goes, kind of best case scenario. Now the active Magby is getting KO'd here, but Taj, you got to understand that unless he has EV Bag, the only way that he can get the 3 energies onto Flareon next turn is by using Combust, which will bring him down to 130. And as we see that Rampardos is ready to go next turn. So this could end up in another scenario where Rampardos is able to finish this game. But with that 6-card hand, Taj, if he does have Flareon, it is fairly likely that he has one of his 2 EV bags. So we'll have to see how that goes. Now, one thing, though, potentially is that even if we're not KOing the Flareon, Taj, if it's just sat there at 20 HP, then it can't combust the turn after, because it also needs to combust every turn to set itself up. So even sometimes if you don't KO Flareon, you can force him to not be able to attack on the next turn, which effectively does the same thing. So we might be seeing one of those scenarios here this turn. I would be really interested to see what Yuri has in his hand.
So the downside too with Bio, I'm surprised that they're not running the red, because 130 plus 20 is a magical spot, right? It's literally like it's a Greninja ping, right? So it's like, again, a lot of EX Pokemon do have that 150 HP pool. So if there's no heal here, this is going to look really good for Bio. If there is a heal from Yuri, like you said, there is. Now this Rampardos is not going to be KOing this Pokemon.
Right. Yeah. And he's not playing red, no Rocky Helmet. So like I said, unless he has a second EV bag, though, we can kind of force him to not be able to combust next turn, which just means he can't attack. Right. So there's a lot of scenarios that this could still kind of work out in Bio's favor. But it's interesting, right? Because, he maybe just has the second EV bag, right? And he's not playing Cape, I don't believe, in his list. So, this really could go either way. The Giovanni's very interesting, although it really doesn't matter. What it does do, theoretically, is that if he's forced to go into the Sylveon, then he can want to kill the Sylveon on the subsequent turn, right? So, interesting scenario for sure. All of his Pokemon on Yuri's board are 2 prize Pokemon, including that
wait, he could Sabrina, right? Because doesn't he need 2 energy adds, so he can't retreat?
Right, but I think you attack the Flareon either way. Well, you could Sabrina here. You're right, because then he would have to attack.
Oh no! I keep on thinking Rampardos is an EX. I'm sorry, I was like Red just wins the game him, but yeah, no. So Rampardos, the beefy 150 HP Pokemon that it is, EV Bag was played, so it doesn't get KO'd. Oh my God, never mind. Just hit this thing.
He can't, right, because unless he's got a second EV Bag, he can't KO you, but he has to play that EV Bag to heal next turn so that, Flareon doesn't get KO'd when he combusts. So I think hitting the Flareon here is kind of like a GG scenario.
Right.
Unless, of course, he does have EV Bag, and then he can just hit him for 130. But then what do you do from there? Right? You can maybe force the tie, right? But it doesn't work in terms of the prizing, because you've only taken 1 prize.
Right.
And Flareon.
You have that one. You have the one rock. You have the one rock just chilling there. That takes the win. So.
Right. And this is what I was saying, right? So he's left at 20, but he can't combust, right? So he's going to have to retreat, and we have Giovanni in hand to KO probably whatever gets evolved or brought up, including that Sylveon, right? So he does elect to just bring up the Eevee, which means he probably has
a Pokemon
to evolve, and it is Genetic Apex Flareon. This is very important, though, Taj. But we do have Sabrina in hand, so I don't know if it really matters that much. The thing here is that you can KO the Flareon, but then you take 50 damage, right? So do you really want to do that? Oh, and he has the Eevee bag anyway. But again, in that same scenario, right, he can't KO, so because he doesn't have red. So he is going to EV bag, and then they could get the combust off. So I think what we have to do here is probably I would play the Sabrina this turn. Sabrina. Maybe not though. Maybe it's okay to just sort of take the KO on the active, because where does he go from there? He still can't, because he retreated. He also has to combust next turn. So I think if you Sabrina this turn, it's fine. You're in the same exact spot as you were before. You just don't take 50 damage. So you might as well play it, I guess. But we could also see the Pokecom potentially to find that Aerodactyl EX, which could be the 3rd Pokemon in the deck, which is just another hurdle for this Flareon to get over. So I really like Bio's position right now. I think that this is a deck that definitely, and just like any fighting deck playing Rampardos, is very reliant, Taj, on getting Rampardos out. It really is sort of the bread and butter of the fighting decks.
It's the boss monster of the deck, right? In a sense. So and there's no draw for it. So I do like the thinking from from Bio here. Because basically, if he KOs here, Flareon comes with a revenge KO. Well, actually, no, it has to combust again one more time. Oh, yeah, it's stuck.
Yeah. He's kind of, yeah, that's the issue with Flareon is he's kind of just locked in right now. There's really
and there's
not
no
much that he
heals.
can do.
But the calm into, the sweet-looking rainbow Aerodactyl, by the way.
There it is.
Yeah.
There's the Aerodactyl.
So, I mean, I guess you just KO this Flareon, and then you just...
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. It really doesn't. I don't think anything happens here regardless. Now, I do like the Sabrina, though. The reason I like it is just because you don't take 50 damage, and that's inherently better. I don't think it really changes your position other than that, so you might as well just play it. He might run out of time here because the animations are taking so long here, but can he get the head smash off? Does he run out of time?
Oh! Wait, maybe...
It doesn't actually...
Maybe that was calculated because now if you think about it, he's gonna leave Sylveon in the active. Like, you know what I mean?
He's got Giovanni. It doesn't matter. It is funny though that the timer got him there, but yeah, theoretically speaking, and again, they can't hear us, so I mean, no matter what he does here,
because like, what if Yuri's like, oh, I'm safe for one turn, right? Like, you know?
Right. And I don't know. I can pull up the deck, but yeah, I'm pretty sure there's just nothing. Yeah, he's just gonna pass, and he does have coincidentally the Giovanni in hand. So whether he KO'd or not, nothing actually really mattered there. Bro. He had him locked down, and he can't get repelled or anything. So the Giovanni in hand comes in clutch. 140 is a good number though, right? It does KO Sylveon, it KOs Suicune, it KOs a number of things. So I think that Giovanni might make a little bit of sense. I'm trying to think other scenarios why would you play Giovanni and not Red? Specifically for non-EX Pokemon, right? I mean,
140s. What's a 140? Yeah, I'm trying to see the.
Right. I don't really know. Yeah, it's interesting. Like you're KOing Silvally anyway, the Lightning Pokemon anyway, because you're hitting them for weekness. So I think Giovanni maybe just
Wait, no, I was gonna say Oricorio, but you have weakness on Oricorio anyway, so.
Yeah, Cranidos is just KOing with weakness, so it's interesting. I don't know if it really matters much, but anyway, look at that. Aerodactyl, Lycanroc, Rampardos. The Fossil Toolbox deck takes, he wins. He moves on to top 64.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's awesome. So now we're going to switch over to Narumi.
Yes.
And then where are they right now in this? I'm going to show the brackets right now, yeah? So we're looking for...
Yep, this is a top 64 match. They've been waiting for us.
Narumi, okay, cool. So now, Maddie, can other players start pushing through, or should we... Like, can other, like...
Yeah, we'll have everybody play. If a top 32 match gets, it gets ready at any point around the time that this top 64 match finishes, then we'll stop them. But everybody else should be free to play. And then we'll make sure we have our head judge here in the VC with us, and he's just going to be, parking some games and letting us stream them. Cool. So, but everybody else just should play normally at this point in the tournament. Okay. And then Lamp will let you know if you gotta wait.
Cool. Now, really quick, Maddie, I'm gonna set up the overlay. I should have done that while we're doing the match. I was so focused into there. I'm gonna bring up a deck list. Which one do you want to show on the screen? Would you want to show Lugia or do you want to show Narumi's?
So we can take a look here at Arn 777's deck, which
so that's gonna be on the screen,
and
you can talk about it while I set it up. So.
Awesome. Yeah, so this is going to be Ho-Oh Lugia. Now, what's cool about this deck, which is that, again, no Suicune, no Greninja. So you kind of have a little bit more time into the late game to be a little bit more flexible, right? Now, Ho-Oh and Lugia is a strategy that is unique. In this matchup, you're going to be playing against Dragonite. So that 180 damage from Lugia actually kind of comes in clutch here. Most of the time, I would say 180 isn't that relevant, but we are playing 2P2-2-0 Aura. So even though this deck is playing like all three energies, it is reliant on that Lightning energy package to get Ho-Oh initially set up. And then from there, you're kind of just reliant on, drawing your other two energies to potentially attack multiple times with Lugia. But yeah, it's definitely a late game deck. It's meant to just sort of take KOs. Oftentimes it can struggle after that Lugia takes the attack if you're playing an archetype that only plays like single prize Pokemon. But against Dragonite, it might come in clutch. There might be some scenarios where neither player really wants to bring their Pokemon into the active spot because they're going to get KO'd. But in the head-to-head matchup, you have Ho-Oh as that sort of ancillary attacking option, right? And Zeraora. So I would say that Ho-Oh Lugia is going to have the advantage here, Taj. But this is a deck list that I think has a little bit of room to breathe now that Greninja and Suicune is out of the metagame, right? Being banned this weekend. So we'll see how it works out. But this is one of the more interesting matchups. The only Ho-Oh Lugia player to make it into day 2, so we definitely wanted to showcase his games. But as we saw, I mean, the Aerodactyl Lycanroc deck is moving on, so maybe potentially Ho-Oh and Lugia can move on to top 32 as well.
Cool.
I'm excited.
Nice, and we are ready to go on the overlays. So let's go into the room that they are streaming at.
Let's do it.
Where are they located?
Narumi is towards the...
There's so many people. Maddie, they're oh, we got a deaf of them. Okay, there's so many people. This is insane. Okay, so this tournament is wild. We love it. Okay, cool. So I am popping out Narumi's POV. It still looks like they're on their locked phone screen.
Yep, I'll let them know. I got to message them actually to play.
Okay,
so give me one sec.
Cool.
Let's see here. Awesome, and ready. Please play. I appreciate everybody bearing with us. You know, we have a great team here for the tournament, but again, you know, it's me and Taj on the stream. Taj is running everything that you see on the stream, and then we have, like, you know, our head judge that's helped coordinate things. So it's not like we have like you know, an entire army running this tournament. It really is just a couple of really awesome people. So yeah, it's been great. I mean, this is our 4th tournament, Taj. I think that people have really enjoyed the tournament series. We've been the largest Pokemon Pocket, you know, weekly tournament series since we started, and I think you know, we're going to continue on to into B1, into the next metagame. And I'm actually really excited about that, and I'm really happy with how the tournament series is going.
And the cool thing is, right, so everybody knows that we're kind of at a lull, right? So chat, you guys can all agree that right now it's like, oh man, another Suicune meta for sure. But again, with the big brains of the Pocket Mads community and I guess the admin team, we're kind of, it was actually, honestly, it was Maddie's idea. Maddie was pushing this hardcore about the ban. We're kind of like, no, we should just do another tournament. He's like, no, let's ban Greninja and see what happens. And everyone's just like, okay, we'll do it. So again, allowing us to see, not saying anything bad about Greninja, right? But it's just a really broken card with all that water support, right? Even a Misty Greninja is scary, right? So it's a super strong card, and then you allowing us to kind of like just banning out that one card, like you picking out the one card that can kind of unbond the meta was a really cool play. Because like if you ban Rare Candy, then you take away a lot of cards. But you banning that one isolated Greninja, seeing that, again, it's really dope. So this tournament is super sweet. There's 27 different decks. Like that is crazy. So like, this is definitely entertaining for sure. And it might not be meta, but like, and it might not be meta Mondays, right? But it's still just a cool thing to see that Pocket and the community has to offer, right? So
yeah, and we've been in kind of this meta for like 6-7 weeks, so I just wanted something different. I wanted to at least try it. You know, at the end of the day, you know, the next meta, the next expansion's right around the corner, so I think most people were kind of waiting for that, and I just wanted something a little bit different, right? I wanted to just try something. Maybe next week we go back to you know, standard before the season ends, but yeah, you know, I figured it might be fun. But it looks like our next match here, our top 64 match.
Yep, they're getting set up now. So also, guys, if you guys are wondering why the gameplay is so laggy, keep in mind that we have players all across the world, and there's no spectator mode in Pocket. They're literally screen sharing their phone onto our Discord. Like not saying, like, you know, the production is so great because of us, right? But it's literally a screen share. Like, it's somebody on their phone across. I believe Narumi's French, so like they're in France, screen sharing their gameplay on Discord, and that's we're streaming that to you guys. So if there is a delay, or if there is kind of like the frags, like, or the kind of like the lagginess, that's how it is. Again, please ask Dina and Pocket for a spectator mode, then it'll be a lot smoother for sure. So, but anyway, as we get into this, Narumi, super solid player from Froggy X as well too, a solid GGB clan. Again, going against Arn as well too, but running again. Oh, I did not switch over Narumi's Duckless. Pardon me. Running the Dragonite, so that's gonna be really sick. I love Dragonite. It's definitely gonna be really cool during Megas. But Maddie, take it away while I switch over. So.
Yeah. That's why this matchup was so interesting to me, was because, you know, both Lugia and Dragonite both hitting for that 180. They can both KO each other. One of the few times you'll see that in Pokemon Pocket, right? Other than the Dragonite Mirror matchup. So not only was Ho-Oh Lugia just a unique deck that we don't see often, but it was going up against Dragonite. We had to showcase the match. Now, Narumi is going second, or I believe going first here, and he leads the Dratini, which is not great. So what he's probably going to want to do here is just continue to attach to the Dratini. But unless we see like an elemental switch in Arn's hand, then this Dratini will be getting KO'd by the Ho-Oh. So he's in a very awkward position here. He can retreat, but if he does, then he discards the energy. So he's going to elect to prematurely evolve here, and this is definitely an interesting play. This Dragonite will be able to KO the active Ho-Oh on the following turn, and unless this Ho-Oh gets an attack off, then that Lugia will not be able to use its attack to KO Dragonite. So we do see the research come out from Arn here, and we'll hopefully see maybe an energy switch to kind of move that energy off of Zero Aura onto Ho-Oh, and then attach, and then attack to set up the Ho-Oh, or the Lugia rather. So that's what we're hoping for here, but if we don't see that, then what we're kind of hoping for here... and he does have it. Okay, that's huge. And this is really why I was saying I think Ho-Oh Lugia kind of has the advantage, is because Dragonite's very similar, but it doesn't have that secondary sort of attacking option. Whereas like, Ho-Oh can just sort of do its thing, right? So in the scenario where maybe Dragonite wasn't in the active spot, Taj, Ho-Oh would still be able to put on pressure, whereas Dragonite doesn't really have that. So now, the Ho-Oh's in the active with a Rocky Helmet. It just hit for 80 damage, and now we've got a Lugia on the bench that we, have to deal with. So this is why I kind of suspected Ho-Oh to have and Lugia to have an advantage here. But very interesting that he did end up getting that turn 2 Ho-Oh to double energy, right? Or triple energy. That's a really big deal if you really think about it. And we can KO the Ho-Oh, but where do we go from there? Right? What do we do from there?
Maddie, I would say every good deck has a little bit of cheese, right? Every good dish has somewhat of that cheese, right? Now, the crazy thing is, right, Narumi still played out to their out. Because why? Arn, I apologize if I butcher that name. Arn does run 2 repels. So repelling back the Dratini would have basically would have put energy behind. Narumi knows that this matchup is literally all about getting started first. So it's not a bad play on Narumi. It's just very lucky that Arn got the Zera claps, Thunderclap Flash, as well as the Elemental Switch to get this started. So
and you got to remember, Lugia will discard all of those energies after he attacks, right? So you're not safe after you attack here. You're very reliant on the Zero Aura after this. So that's why he attaches to the Zero Aura. He does take the KO on the Dragonite, and Arn did end up having Mars, which is a really big deal. Marsing Narumi to 1 card and then taking the KO here. And he's kind of forced into something that he doesn't really want to be in, which is going to be this Mantike. But unfortunately, where do you go from here? I guess you kind of have to go maybe into... no, he's actually just going to... He's going to concede the game. Oh, no, because Lugia can't retreat. Sorry.
Lugia cannot retreat yet. There's also no leaf from Arn as well.
Energies.
Wait, this is crazy. So we're at a stalemate here, but also here's the big thing. Narumi's running dual energies, so no electric energies are here. Now, an electric energy did spawn in, but it's it's a very... Oh, are you opting to leave?
You gotta, because Lugia has to attach next turn. And so he's going to be forced to go into the Dragonite, and as we see, or into the Zero Aura. So this is really just both players playing off of the top deck here, where you have to wait and see. He did end up drawing into the Dragonite, right? So he can go into Pichu because, again, because Dratini only does it hit for 20. So I think this Pichu's safe for the following turn as well, right? So he's just going to crackly toss to...
Wait, no, it hits for 40, but also it needs an electric energy. Wait, he threw.
Oh, wait, I don't know
Dratini gets the KO. No!
Oh, no.
What?
I didn't see that. I thought I was like, Dratini must not hit for that. I didn't see it. It was the 2 energy Dratini.
No!
That's
so,
tough.
guys,
that is tough.
Just letting you guys know, both players played super aggressive very early, but then they both ran out of gas. I think there's a small misplay from Arn, thinking that it was maybe the colorless energy Ram Dratini.
Right, that's what I thought it was originally.
Yeah. But again, it's pocket. It is what it is. Entertainment nonetheless. But game 1 goes to Narumi, which was awesome. So
it's an awkward spot though, right? After that Lugia attacks, what do? You have to double attach to Lugia, and then you have to retreat. He could have gone into Zero Aura there, but then again, where do you go from there, right? That's sort of the tricky part, right? Is that I guess considering the board state that he had set up in that second Dratini getting benched. That was really crucial. Even after the Mars, he ended up drawing into, I think, that Dratini. So, interesting game. I think it could have gone either way. Yeah, definitely a little bit of a suspect play there to bring into the Pichu, for sure. But maybe he's learned now, and we'll see where this goes here. But Narumi is leading off with the Pichu this game.
Maddie, I just got to ask. A lot of players are opting to run dual energy Dragonite despite the bricking. How do you feel about that?
Yeah.
I'm still not a fan of the duel. I rather do water and Pichu or Mantike electric. How do you feel on that while the game gets set up?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think that I have learned from the Dragonite King himself, which is Jeho, former I think second or third place finisher with Dragonite at one of our tournaments. He is one of the players that consistently does well with Dragonite. He went 4-3 this weekend, but he plays the single energy, single baby Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
So you have some consistency on that end. But when you do that, I believe you're kind of forced maybe not to play Sylveon. So it's a strange, well, I guess you're not forced, but it's about two different things, right? What do you want to focus on? Do you want to have to struggle, with getting the particular energies, or do you want to have to struggle more with getting Dragonite set up? I think that the differences are so minor, and Dragonite's a bit of a high roll deck anyway that it really probably doesn't matter that much oftentimes, but it could matter. But it's tough. I really don't know, Taj. I don't have, I would say, like a hard
no, I'm just curious. So for me, I guess maybe more preference, right? I like the single. I like Jeho. Jeho made me a Dragonite believer. So I like that. But again, Narumi opting to go for the duel, so we'll see how that goes. But interesting thing here as we go back to the game, right? Game 2.
Got it going right now.
Yeah, this is a super solid board. You got the Mantike in the front, only one energy on the side. It almost feels like it's reversed.
Hold on, Taj. If we see a Lugia and an elemental switch here from Arn, then the game is completely in a different position, right? Because that Ho is ready to get set up. The Rocky Helmet comes down. Right? If we can't attack with Ho this turn, the game is over. We do see the elemental switch, but do we have Lugia to then get those energies onto after we KO the Mantike with Ho-Oh? That is the big question, and we do not. So that is the big deal here. Without Lugia, you're not winning this game, and this Ho-Oh is going to get absolutely destroyed by the Dragonite, unfortunately. So I said earlier, I thought that Lugia would have the advantage here, but I really do think that this Narumi here kind of ended up just drawing the sauce, like back-to-back games. Like he just sort of had everything, you know what I mean? So we see now, Zero Aura with the three.
Yeah, the big thing too, though, right, is Arn doesn't have hand disruption, and I think hand disruption is big against stage 2 decks. Literally allowing Narumi just to keep their hand and all their resources is big. But like it's usually it's just like Flareon, and even like again this Lugia box, right? Opting to not have hand disruption to go for more offensive maneuvers. It's hard to balance both, right? So
you have to do what your deck wants to do, right? You can't just kind of pollute your deck with things that maybe aren't core to the strategy. But the issue here is that like you can't play Lugia and not have Lugia, right? Like he had everything he needed to, but without Lugia, like you just can't win, right? So that's kind of how this goes. He was just one Lugia away. If he had that Lugia, so I think he just top decked it. If he had it the previous turn, he would have been in a much better position. But we also see the Lyra in hand, so it's just a tough scenario. The Rocky Helmet actually puts the damage on Dragonite, so that is going to be the concession. Yeah, just kind of got rolled. I mean, he did. I would say he kind of threw the first game, but that second game definitely sort of just didn't go his way, unfortunately there for sure. So.
Maddie, for the next match, top 32, Lucian versus Ashoka, Boswell Faramosa versus Pichu Tapu Koko. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yes. Is that because somebody was raving about how Buzz is a thing. So I don't know if that match even started yet, but it is our top 32, and then I don't know if Lucian is live as well too. So. Or if they're
I'll hop into anything, whatever Lampot suggests. That match went pretty quick, so any top 32 match that we have available, we'll hop right in. Of course, we love watching Lucian. Now, I also think that Boswell was actually my choice touch to win the tournament. My early prediction, and I think it did really well in day one. So we'll have to see maybe how Boswell does. But yeah, we're ready to move on to any top 32 match. So really. Whichever one Lampot has sort of available, or anyone that we want to hop into, we can go ahead and do that.
We can push that, right? And then also if that goes through, we can also, like I said, we just push the games, and then because there's a lot of like other 32s that we can jump in with, right? So we'll see how that match goes, and then if we need to pause anything, because worst case we can just jump into another 32 and then pause like other ones, if that makes any sense. So we just let the players play. And then we cover Lucian and Ashoka. So how's that sound?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Perfect.
Let me get that up. And I believe he's live on Twitch. So let me give you his Twitch link.
Oh yes, I can probably pull it up as well.
Okay, cool. I'll just post it in the chat. So.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, cool. So that's there right there. So guys, we're going to be using a live Twitch stream for the POV. So hopefully there's no delay on that. That would be really funny if that was the case. Okay, so we got Lucian here.
I think this probably isn't a delay, but Lucian, he doesn't show his hands, right? So we'll have no hand here, unfortunately.
Pause. We can go to his opponent, Ashoka, who's in the Discord.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, cool. Okay.
We're on a delay, so
yeah. Okay. I will move you real quick. Or you can just jump in yourself. Cool.
We're here.
Ashoka, good luck. We'll be covering your POV. Okay, cool. I definitely them, so. Okay, so
cool. Yeah, look, so it looks like we're in the midst of this first game here. I don't know if you have it up on screen yet, but...
Wait, are they... Oh, they started already? Oh, geez.
Yeah. I think all of the 32s at the moment had started, so...
Oh, okay, perfect.
That's why I don't think we had anybody parked yet from top 32.
Cool. So guys, I need to change all of this stuff. It is incorrect, but again, that is how production goes, guys. So,
Ashoka looks to have
won the match.
The first game.
Cool.
Yeah, and this is Tapu Koko toolbox deck with, like, I believe Oricorio, Pikachu, all that. And then against Buzzwole. Traditionally, I would say Buzzwole probably does pretty good against the Lightning decks, but you know, anything is possible for sure. Celesteela, as we saw there at the end of that game, is theoretically weak to the Lightning type, right? So that is a potential KO target. And with Giovanni and Tapu Koko hitting for 90, like, you can actually take the KO pretty easily. So interesting that that's how that first game went. We're going to go into game 2, though. We're a little bit behind. We're going to go into game 2, though, and see how this goes here. Yeah, but we're on the fly for sure. Keep in mind here, we'll have Lampbot just make sure that he stops, like, any particular top 16 match so we can watch it all the way through. And then we can kind of bounce around to top 32 because there's a bunch. They're all
there's a bunch.
Right now,
there's a bunch. Yeah. So what we'll do is Lampbot, we'll bounce between, like, the top 32s, and then we'll see a 16 at Park, and then we can just let them all go as well too. So and then while it's going on too, like, we can also look to see, like, oh, what's a cool deck, right? Like, something interesting to watch. But anyway, so here we go. Round 2 here. We can still see the cards, which is awesome.
Celesteela.
Oricorio versus Celesteela. Bird versus Ultra Beast here. Ahsoka, not a good start for them, but hopefully they do get a Zero Ore to get that energy ramp up, right? So.
Yeah, it's you know, what even is Celesteela? Like, I know, I understand it's a Ultra Beast and not a Pokemon, but, like, what is it? Is it just like a tower thing? I don't even know.
So it's you could just say it's an alien, but I would just say yes, it's like a tower. So, but it's like So So, So Ultra Beasts are really cool. And they're from the Alola region. Fun fact. So again, if one of my favorite generations of the Alola region. So, but we do see the energy add
to and Tapu Koko actually.
Yeah, actually, this is a Alolan battle for sure. So looking at Ahsoka's deck too, they also don't have any X speeds to retreat for free. So this energy is going to be added on, not wasted, I would say, because you could also attack with Koko. But then there is the Buzzwole, the hero that we all need here. So it's gonna be a little rough. But again, Oricorio can't get touched by it. So maybe you just keep it in the active, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, you know, you're getting hit for weakness, so that's the tough part, is that they can 2-hit KO you. But he looks like he's setting up that second Celesteela to potentially get around it. In fact, you know, is this Buzzwole player, what is it, Ahsoka, is he playing Pheromosis as his primary other option, or is he playing
So
Kartana?
Lucian is running just 2 Pheromosas, 2 Celesteelas. So.
Yeah, so Pheromosa, like, the way that Buzzwole always worked traditionally was that, oh, sorry, Lampot. I think traditionally the way that Buzzwole worked back in the day was that, like, you had Kartana and you had Pheromosa, which were both really strong options to play with Buzzwole. But the issue was that Kartana was specifically good into Oricorio, but Pheromosa was kind of better in general for all of the other things. For, you know, like, to have Cyrus into ping the bench and then set up other win conditions. So I think most people right now are playing Buzzwole with Pheromosa because it's better in general. But Kartana theoretically would be better against Oricorio. But either way, we see the Tapu Koko with double energies now. So, you know, he can just take a KO on the Celesteela, and then, like, where do we go from there? Because no energies are in the discard pile, and the one energy we did attach was to Celesteela. So I actually kind of understand why maybe this, you know, Oricorio Tapu Koko stuff might be kind of beneficial into the Buzzwole matchup.
Also, too, I did post Lucian's deck list in the chat if you need to.
Okay.
pop it open. So
Perfect.
Yeah, I do like this now. What's interesting here is that I like Lucian's playstyle. Again, Lucian is one of like, top NA players for sure. Opting to basically set up for Moombahton Cannon versus like, again, setting up the superhero, right? So he's definitely in an awkward spot going against.
Now, at least they're non-EX Pokemon, right? So like if he does go in here, but what's interesting though is like Giovanni is in hand, by the way, Taj, for the Coco player, so he can't actually just one KO. But Lusamine does theoretically generate, what is it, 2 energies for Buzzwole. So he can attack with Buzzwole on the following turn. Just coincidentally does have the Giovanni in hand. He can 1-KO the Celesteela, which is tough. So even if we see a Lusamine, this Buzzwole can't hit for 120 on the following turn. But it's unfortunate for sure, just like sort of how Tapu Koko and Giovanni, I think, has KO'd Celesteela twice now. Right. Yeah, I mean, Buzzwole only hits for 120, theoretically, or unironically, it's just a little bit not enough to KO Tapu Koko, so...
Ahsoka does run a Geo, unless it was already played, because I was...
But he's got a Lusamine, too. Ahsoka just played the Geo.
Yeah.
Lucian
I was looking at the other deck. No, Lucian does not, so yeah, he cannot one-shot.
Okay. So, I don't think he's in that bad of a spot here, truthfully, because like I know we're not KOing, but he can Leaf Cape, and he probably plays Erika's as well. Typically they do. So, even though he might take 90 next turn, he can kind of heal up and then be in a pretty good spot. There is that nice new Buzzwole art, which we love. Yeah, it is pretty cool. All of the new ones are awesome.
Yeah. Well, I got Circle Circuit Pika, and I'm like, bro. Like, I would have took Thunderbolt Pika by far, but it's okay. Circle Circuit will be coming back at some point, possibly.
They did reprint it twice, that with the 2-star and the immersive or whatever. What are you gonna do? He does have Guzma in hand though, so I mean we can't hit for 90 and Guzma here. Potentially just attached to the Oricorio and then be put her in a pretty awkward spot. So that might be the better play. It's interesting. Like without Kartana, like you really are lacking a lot of attacking force onto the Oricorio, which is a little bit tough. Into the Oricorio, right? And you're kind of reliant on Celesteela. He actually elects to attach to the Pikachu here, and he's going to bring up the Celesteela to take the KO. So he's going to actually trap in the Buzzwole and then basically give himself another turn, right? So I actually do like this play, unless he's playing... I need to pull up the list, as you just said. Unless what does he got here?
Lucian doesn't have any backline. He doesn't have any backline attack. Well, he has no Repel. Lucian doesn't run Repel. He only has Cyrus.
He's not playing Repel, right? So he can't actually even get around the Oricorio at all. Now both Celesteelas are done for, right? What he's playing is double Cyrus and Pheromosa, but we haven't seen Pheromosa at all this game, which is very bad, right? So realistically, what he can do here is kind of just go in, take the KO with the Buzzwole, and then, well, I guess theoretically, but the issue is like Ahsoka has Guzma in hand, so like he can just Guzma off the Cape. Right. We are playing a second Leaf Cape, so maybe he draws into that, but that's the only way that you're not going to get KO'd by the Pikachu. So maybe here, what we do is hope. I guess Lucian hopes that he has that second Leaf Cape available to him. He is going to Mars away the Guzma though. He's going to Mars the Guzma, Marsing him to 1. Hello, there is the Cyrus, and now he can be a little bit more freely, I guess, for the next couple of turns here. Without the Guzma, he is living an attack from the Pikachu and can revenge KO the Pikachu EX very easily, right, for 120. So the Mars was actually really clutch, and yes, he doesn't have anything to deal with this Oricorio right now, Taj. But at the very least, he's not getting KO'd, in the next turn.
Holy hand!
Yeah, he's got it all. He's got a little bit of everything here. Electing to take the Cyrus, that is the correct play for sure. In case he draws into a Pheromosa and then can kind of get rolling that way. But, the Pheromosa is not really safe either, unironically, because, if you do go into Pheromosa, then he can just retreat into Pikachu and then KO it, and then he wins. So it's kind of an awkward spot. We don't have any damage on anything here, and both Celesteelas are KO'd. So I actually don't really know where Lucian goes from here without any Gusting, without any Sabrina or Repel. I really don't know. What can he possibly do here other than maybe get a Pheromosa out this turn to get the attack off and hope that his opponent because
he needs a Pheromosa right here. Yeah, he needs Pheromosa right here. If he doesn't have Pheromosa,
this turn,
it's GG's.
Or lose.
So
it's tough. This is a tough one. We are in game 2 and he's down 0-1, so a bit unfortunate for sure. No Pheromosa at all. Like Pheromosa would be really, really good. I know that it can't really KO like Oricorio very easily, but at least it can set up for Cyrus plays in the future, which is kind of what he's lacking here, right? No Repel, no Kartana, right? So you're reliant on the Pheromosa Cyrus, and in this scenario you don't get it, so what do you do, right? Now basically, Ashoka can kind of just wait. He can literally just sit here and wait for that Guzma. And he draws into the X speed anyway. So that's kind of the play, I think, is literally to sit here and then just either wait for him to go into a Pheromosa or wait for the Guzma. And then you go in yourself, right? And then I just don't know where you go from here. I really don't.
So is there any more hand disruption from Lucian or no?
He's got one Mars.
And he used it already, right? Yeah.
It's actually better that he didn't get the Guzma off on the following turn because he does play a second Leaf Cave. Right. So like if he had played it the turn before he could cake the KO that turn, then maybe the second Leaf Cave comes down and then you just lose the game. But because and here's the Pheromosa, but this doesn't work, right? He can't go into the Pheromosa or you lose. So it's a really awkward scenario. And I think basically you can't win. I don't think there's any way to win the game.
Also, too, the cool part about the Pikachu X, which I loved when it first came out, Pikachu X is really solid, especially with the Pachirisu giving it the energies. A powered up Pikachu is pretty much like a checkmate. There's like, for sure. Yeah, you KO whatever's in front or whatever, but I can KO almost anything on the board because I do 150 damage. So it's a really it's almost like a chess move where it's just like, you send out, like, again, he sends a Pheromosa, he kicks, but then Pikachu comes out and revenge KOs, right? So
yeah, exactly, because he had the play where he KO'd both Celesteela, which is just unfortunate, right? Truthfully, in that specific scenario, like Lucian really did get massively unfortunate throughout this game, which feels bad. He's gonna Leaf Cape, and there's the second Leaf Cape, but Pikachu is really, really good with Oricorio, and it sort of sets up that checkmate scenario specifically into Giratina Darkrai. That is kind of where this deck has had a lot of strength, is because you can use the Oricorios and stall, and then if you get the energies on the Pikachu, then, at any point in time, like, they just can't bring up anything, or once you KO whatever, then the game's over, and that's what Pikachu is doing right here, right now, theoretically speaking. So it's a tough scenario. Actually, really unfortunate. We didn't get to see the full first game, but this game is very massively unfortunate, where your first two prizes that you let up are both of your Celesteela, and you never get Pheromosa down, and by the time the Pheromosa is down, 3 energies are on a Pikachu EX. That's very unfortunate. Like, in a different world, I could see Buzzwole winning this matchup very easily, but very just, it's just kind of crazy how that works, right? We even saw the Tapu Koko Giovanni KO on the Celesteela. Like, it's just kind of crazy how that all happened this game. Very fortunate, I would say, or very unfortunate, but, that's how Pocket goes sometimes, Taj. That's just how it is.
So we have Bruno and Wiggler at 0-0. Tapu Koko versus Magnezone Arceus if you want, or Magnezone Raikou if you want to jump in that.
Raikou. Yeah, let's hop in.
Okay, cool.
Some Raikou action over in top 32.
Wiggler and
Wiggler?
Bruno. Wiggler and
let's hop over.
Brunito. Okay, cool.
All right, let's get it.
Okay. So are they're playing right now, right? So let me.
Yeah, probably. Let me pop it up.
Okay. And then top 32 0-0-0. Now should Lamp send over? Oh, it's 2 XP. We can hold 2 XP and I guess, or.
He just left. I don't know where he went. He wasn't down with it. I think he just peaced out.
Wait, what? Wiggler and Bruno?
He
Wait,
left.
What? Okay, maybe
we hopped into Wiggler's BC and then he left.
Yeah, maybe we can do 2 XP, which is a top 16 though. Do you want to do that?
I mean, we can hop into it. I mean, I'm cool like freestyling it until we get into the top 4.
Okay.
Yeah. What about Nabrix? Nabrix is streaming.
He is, but it's in the middle of it. Let me see.
Oh, he's in the middle. Yeah. Is
I'm
Bruno
trying to get
streaming?
Who?
Bruno, Wiggler's opponent. Or Brunito, sorry.
Yeah, they should be in the Discord, hopefully.
I don't see him in here unless he's got a different Discord name. What else do we have going on?
So, Lampot opted to go offered again 2 XP, which is top 16, which is running Darkrai and Arceus, and there's a bunch of babies there with Smoochum too against Pichu and Tapu Koko.
Oh yes, I love that deck.
So yeah. So let's we'll
okay.
So we can have everybody keep playing, and then we'll cover. This is gonna be one of our first top 16 matches. So how's that?
Yeah, that's all good. We can maybe do a couple top 16s, whatever we want to do. Yeah. So which player are we streaming?
One of the two. I don't know who's. If you can look while I set up the
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 2 XP in Ohoo. Okay. P dot. Is he streaming? Yeah, we'll get him in here. Give me 1 sec. I'll communicate with him.
Yeah, cool.
All right, 2 XP is gonna hop in here, and yes, this is going to be Turbo Dark Arceus, really like daycare with against Arceus and Tapu Koko. So kind of like I like the Arceus Tapu Koko stuff. It's been around for a long time. There's so many different lightning variants, honestly, and I
just
find them
feel
all
like
to be a bit interesting.
like
so
I like lightning. It just doesn't have enough gas. Like bird is cool, but like you know what I mean.
Well,
like it just doesn't. It doesn't hit. It doesn't hit hard enough. I think.
Yeah, that's the thing with the lightning decks is like you have Oricorio, so they've kind of balanced it to where there's nothing like super broken to play with Oricorio.
Right.
And everything is like pretty good, but nothing is like that crazy, right? So you can build a really aggressive deck, or you can build an Oricorio deck. You can kind of build both, but sometimes it's a little bit awkward, right? So P dot is streaming. Do you want to hop in there, Tom?
Yeah. What? Okay, cool.
All the way at the bottom, I believe.
Cool. P dot, good luck. We'll be covering your POV. Okay, cool. I server muted him and all that good stuff. So good.
Awesome. All right, let's do it. Starting a top 60 match from the beginning. We again freestyling a little bit. The coordination is tough. Like when you're running the tournament, you got to make sure that you're not just like taking 12 years, right? And everybody's waiting for their game. But in the same vein, you got to also make sure that you're picking up the matches that you want to screen share. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a tough balance for like we have an absolute dream team, Taj. But what I'm trying to say is that we're doing our best. And it's tricky.
No.
It's tricky in here.
It's like the thing is, what's super cool is we're actually on pace for like the tournament's actually on pace. What we're doing. It's just it's hard for the viewers to see like what we're putting together.
It's
so like, but again, like we're getting chat. Basically, what we're doing is we're waiting. We're gonna be on top. Oops, their sound is on.
Yeah.
We're gonna be on. This is one of our first top 16 matches, and also we sometimes jump back to a 32. Maybe. So usually we had a hand hider that would show like what round we're on. So I'll probably put somewhere on the board like top 16 or whatever like that, so people can see. But again, guys, so it's super cool is that this tournament's probably gonna be really. It's gonna be not like fast, but all the matches will be covered. You'll get a variety of matches, as well as it won't be as long as a lot of older tournaments used to be, where we used to wait for top 16, wait for top 8. Like we're letting people push through, and we're making this go really fast. So, but anyway, Maddie, this is 2XP versus Ohoo. Again, 2XP running the Daycare Arceus versus again Electrical Bird. I'll let you take it away while I try to figure out where I can put like the rounds on the board. So.
The 2XP deck is awesome. So he is electing to play 13 Pokemon in his deck. That includes 2 Arceus, 2 Darkrai EX, 2 Magby, 2 P2, 2 Tyrogue, 1 Mantike, 1 Snorlax EX, and then even 1 Smoochum as well, effectively to kind of stall for a turn to heal up in between if need be. It's actually a pretty cool strategy that I do like. And then you're literally playing double Research, double Red, double Giovanni. Now, what we saw for, I believe, the player that was the #1 seed after day 1, he was playing 14 Pokemon and then 6 trainers, but he did seem to cut maybe 1 Snorlax for 1 Rocky Helmet in his list. But the Daycare deck has been kind of the new top thing. I kind of covered it on the channel recently. There's different ways to play the deck, but the what we call it is like the Daycare deck is a really interesting deck because it doesn't play Pokeball, and the entire strategy here is reliant on one thing in particular, and that is sort of like basically manufacturing the mathematics of the facet that in Pokemon Pocket you're guaranteed to lead with a particular Pokemon. So by playing all of the baby Pokemon and playing, the non-baby Pokemon that like to attack, you're effectively able to play a strategy that doesn't need any Pokeball and can kind of manipulate which Pokemon that you always have available to you. And it's a really unique deck. It's not something that we really see ever in Pokemon Pocket, but it is definitely one of my favorite decks this season. And again, without Suicune and Greninja, this is a deck that actually has a little bit more room to breathe and theoretically strong into Giratina and Darkrai. Now, what you might be noticing is the Tyrogue. The Tyrogue here, specifically in conjunction with Darkrai, as we're about to see, is actually played to counter Oricorio. Tyrogue does hit for weakness plus the Darkrai ping because we don't have to attach to Tyrogue. It ends up being quite a bit of damage. Now, we don't have access to Giovanni. That's what we would need to KO here. but we can attach the Rocky Helmet and basically just force your opponent to KO himself here. So Tyrogue is actually quite good into Oricorio. It's pretty funny. The Shaman does come down here. Interesting enough. So we are playing like an Oricorio Shaman deck with Arceus and Tapu Koko. That's a unique deck list. But yeah, interesting. I like Shaman. There was an Arceus, like a Turbo Arceus deck with Oricorio that actually played like last week. That played, or was it last week or the week before? I'm not sure, but it was playing water and...
The week before.
It was last week. A week before, yeah. It was playing water and lightning energies with Shaman and Irida, and it was really, really cool. So this is kind of a similar type deck, but maybe just a little bit different. It's not maybe all the way on like the stall strategy, but decks like this are kind of hedging their bets against things that, are oftentimes in the format that aren't playing Greninja. Like the Oricorio stuff, is really good without Greninja, but Greninja's not in the metagame, right? So it's interesting. It's a weird... It's a weird dynamic here.
Also, it's funny. I was looking at 2XP's like deck list, and I'm like, oh, does he have a Cyrus? He doesn't have anything. Like,
no, he's playing red
Giovanni, and then Helmet. So like,
yeah,
he's just going base. So
it's all you need. It's literally all you need, right? Because to get around Oricorio, you just have Tyrogue and you have Darkrai, and then everything else is just, when you're playing Arceus. So when you're playing Arceus, it kind of feeds into the strategy of like always having basic Pokemon. It actually works out pretty well. Here we see Darkrai probably just kind of running away with this unless, Ohoo is really just able to get maybe something else on board to attack with. But, the Darkrai, the 20 damage, like it is actually really, really good against Oricorio and baby Pokemon. We do see the Tapu Koko come down here, so if we have some elemental switches, we could get some damage off here with Tapu Koko. But the core issue, though, I would say with this deck, does he have double E-switch here? Or is he just going to hit? I guess you can just hit for 20 and then... maybe set up on the following turn if he's playing some damage modifiers. But the thing about the daycare deck is that in a lot of matchups, Darkrai just doesn't cut it enough to deal enough damage. It's going to be really good against the Pokemon that don't have like that much HP, and it's going to be really good against basically everything that is like lightning type or like the baby Pokemon or Oricorio. But against like Giratina Darkrai and against like Buzzwole and a lot of those bigger Pokemon, Darkrai just doesn't deal enough damage, which is where we're a little bit reliant on Arceus. But in this matchup, it's better probably to have Darkrai than anything else. So we'll see what goes on here. This has been an interesting game as we've been watching it. I actually haven't even been talking about what's been going on. But
it's all. I mean, we can see what's going on, right? And that's our job as casters, right? So I like this red play here from 2XP because now Koko has to retreat. And also, I was gonna
bring in.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2XP could have Cyrus, but he doesn't have a Cyrus. So he has to retreat here, and
double E-switch KO.
Yeah, he could send out the. Double E-switch KO could actually be the play here.
Imagine if he had it. I mean, listen, it's happened to me before. I guess going in Arceus is the play here anyway, right? But. Let's see. Let's see.
And also, guys, keep in mind there is a 10-minute delay, so you guys are watching the live stream right now. That's why we can show everything here. So if you guys are chatting with us in the chats, we can't see it. Just letting you guys know. So, I would go to Arceus. I said go to Arceus and just hit.
I would even maybe go into Tyrogue and hit and attach Arceus and just like bring him down because like he only has one prize. But if he has Cyrus, then you lose probably, right? So like it's a weird. This is interesting. Like the fact that he top decked the Koko and then immediately went into the Arceus here is pretty good because he's running Elemental Switch, so it's a little bit sketchy. He does probably elect to go. Oh, he does go into Tyrogue. Okay. And he does attach Arceus. So again, he can't hear me, but that's what he does, and that's what I would have done here. Now, unfortunately, you do lose to the Cyrus here. There's no way around that, but he needs E-switch and Cyrus. A little bit unlikely for him to have that, but of course, it's very possible. So let's see. We do see the E-switch.
There's one. And then do we see the Cyrus?
He probably has it. Yeah, he's probably got it. I mean, let's be honest here, right?
Wow.
Yeah, he's got it. Look at that. There it is, Taj. You always play to your outs, man. You never know, right? He top decks the Arceus, he has Cyrus in hand, and then he just maybe top decks E-switch, and he's like, yeah, like there we go. It's crazy. I mean, that's the strength of the Arceus right there. It really is. But also the disadvantage of the Darkrai there, right? Because it can't KO the Tapu Koko. So when he brought in Koko, if you had Arceus instead of Darkrai, then you could have just KO'd him. But that's what I was talking about. Is like Darkrai is a really great tool, but it also just doesn't do enough to KO a lot of Pokemon, which is why it can be a little bit disadvantageous. So, yeah, kind of crazy.
So basically, again, Arceus is basically a normal type Giratina. that hits with 3 energies, right? So you're basically playing Darkrai Tina, but again, like you're not using Darkrai to attack. You're using it to chip, so that you can get that 130 plus 20, and also Tyrogue, 50 with Giovanni plus 20 is an Oricorio KO. So,
yeah, they're similar. They're very similar. Traditionally, like the Turbo Arceus decks have been less consistent than Giratina Darkrai, but they've actually had the advantage in the head-to-head matchup just because they have the potential to attack on their second turn, whereas Giratina Darkrai never can attack until turn 3 or turn 4, right? And that's the main difference, right? So, but like look at this hand, Taj. It's all Pokemon because that's all our deck is Pokemon. But that's a good thing because what else do we need other than the setup here, you know? So he's going to elect here to just kind of bench it all. Now you would probably, I don't know if he's playing Repel in his deck, but when I'm playing sort of this, the Turbo, Dark Arceus stuff, like I get a little bit sussed out if my opponent's playing Repel, and I'll oftentimes bench extra Pokemon for that particular reason.
Double
but
baby.
we see the double Oricorio start, right? So we don't have Tyrogue, and we have everything but Tyrogue, in fact. We're just gonna go ahead and start setting up the Arceus here, but Tyrogue is very much needed for the Oricorio. There are some games where he's just maybe not going to ever draw Tyrogue, and you just get it slowly whittled down by the Oricorio, which feels kind of bad now. We also do know he's playing Shaman in the deck as well, so without the Tyrogue, you really, probably aren't going to do too much here. So off the rip, that's a red Todd. That's not going to help him here at all. Now, if you stand with Pichu, you get KO'd. So you're kind of forced to go into something here unless you want to give him the prize. And sure, we can start chipping away with Darkrai, but without Tyrogue, we literally can't KO anything here. It just is pretty unfortunate. Crackly Toss probably is the play, just to kind of create a pivot here for next turn in case we do draw into Tyrogue. But no Pokeball in the deck, so like realistically, we just have to draw into it. That's the only thing we can do. Maybe we draw Research, but it's weird. Like this is one of the more unique matchups I think in the current metagame is like double Oricorio into Daycare deck, because like. They really need that one specific card to get around Oricorio. They're not playing any Gust or anything.
Well, fun fact too, they also 2Xs are also running a Smoochum. And if you guys don't know what Smoochum does, is for no energy Shivery Wave for 20 times. This attack does 20 damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. I had no idea what Smoochum did. I had to look it up, but again,
I thought it was the healing one. Is that
no,
Azul or something?
Azu's the one that heals. So Smoochum does the damage.
Look at Smoochum. He's able to take some KOs here.
Look at this. Cool. That's what I'm saying, right? So
I love it. I forgot that what Smoochum did.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool tech. I had to look it up myself, so I'm not taking all the credit. It's cool that you're talking about how again 2X needs Tyrogue, but they also do have the Smoochum, which is kind of goofy, but it's a baby that attacks for free, and it could pop off if there's like a bunch of energies, right? So
that's a very strong attack. I just got it mixed up. I genuinely thought it was the one that healed for like 30 or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's awesome. Let's go Smoochum with the KO.
Yeah, right.
Incredible.
And also, what's crazy is that it's an attack for each energy attached to your opponent's active, so you can't like bench snipe, which is that I guess that'll be a little bit too broken, but
yeah, that would be crazy. But is it energy attached? So it's energy only on the active Pokemon? I guess that also makes sense.
This attack does 20 damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So
but it still forces a weird position here, right? Because the Oricorio player or Ohoo, he might have to attach to the active if he wants to retreat, right? So that's why he's electing to maybe start setting up the Arceus. But we're just going to go into Pichu, set up our own Arceus, and now the Shaman comes down to stall the issue here. Meaning that we can't really, this isn't a bad spot though for 2X to be in, right? Because like, what does the Oricorio player do? If he attaches to the active, he's just going to take damage from the Smoochum. And if he doesn't, then, that both players can kind of set out their benches. But if you go in first, you're going to get revenge KO'd. And like, where do you go from there, right? So it's kind of an awkward spot, honestly. This
it's just so funny.
Stuff is weird.
Yeah, and it's also funny too, the helmet. Right, the helmet, right? Like the Rocky helmet does give you just that little extra oomph, like it's such a funny, like your deck is so full of Pokemon. What do you opt in for? A helmet. Like a helmet is a great tool, but it's like
it's extra damage, man.
Yeah, it's just so funny how.
But, what I was saying is like what do we do here, right? Coincidentally, I think you have to attach to the Oricorio, but the minute you do, you're going to start taking some damage, right? But I actually think it might be still worth to do that with Shaman. Now you are going negative 10, HP every turn on the Oricorio. So, coincidentally, next turn, he'll go down to 30, which means that if he does attach to Oricorio, he will eventually get KO'd by the Smoochum. And then from there you lose. So I don't know actually what the play is here, from Ohoo. I don't know where this could go possibly, other than just sort of getting slowly whittled down, and then if you go into Arceus, you get revenge KO'd, you lose, and if you attach to Oricorio when you attack, you get KO'd and then you lose, right? So I think what we have to do, man, yeah, I don't know, what can he do? It's really interesting. I mean, I think he's kind of locked down, Tosh.
Yeah, no, it's super funny that the fact that chat, if this was on your bingo card, that Pocket Man says Smoochum does damage to X Pokemon, like mark your bingos, okay? Because
yeah, we got Shaman and Smoochum on the board here.
What crazy meta we're at now. I believe too, even without Greninja, I think people are opting to run Smoochum. It's like an extra Tyrogue. Like
Smoochum's great.
It's funny to see it in this kind of scenario.
I genuinely thought it was the one that healed, and I was like, oh, that could be really cool as like a pivot play to heal and then set up for, you know what I mean? But then I was like, oh wait, no, it does damage. Like that's a totally different ball game. The baby Pokemon are very unique, and there's a lot more than you think. We've seen Cleffa see a lot of play recently. Smoochum seeing a bit more play now. Azrael, the one that does heal, could potentially see some play with Mega Pokemon as like a pivot. It's gonna be interesting, especially when Mega Pokemon come out. I think the baby Pokemon are gonna have a lot more of an opportunity, you know what I mean, to really be a part of the meta.
It's just gonna be two babies and then the Mega, right? So it's basically gonna be like Mega babysitting, right? Like you literally have. Now the funny thing, Maddie, was I was talking about this earlier, is that
hold on, I just realized something. Taj,
what's up?
If he has E-Switch, he can actually get 2 energies on Oricorio without getting KO'd that turn. So if he E-Switches to Oricorio, attaches, and then KOs, he lives, but then forces in another Pokemon, and then he actually will win the game. Because they're both at one prize.
Right, but then the ping, and I believe 2XP runs red.
Oh, yeah, you're right. The ping will get him.
Right.
That's true. But if he pings, then he probably can't KO unless he has like a giant cape, right? So I guess Arceus. That's interesting. No, you're right. Because he probably has red in hand and stuff. Yeah.
So the Arceus player doesn't run. Well, there is a red. We can see it, right? So Arceus doesn't.
Oh, Sabrina.
Oh, but the Sabrina.
I don't think it matters though. You just go into Smooch, right?
Well, no, but then you need that extra helmet chip, right? You needed that 20 helmet chip.
Right, because you're right though. Because if he Sabrinas and E-Switches and then KOs.
So you can send out Darkrai, but then you're worried about the Giovanni, and there's a big hand, right? Wow, that's Sabrina.
What's he gonna do? Hold on, he's gonna E-Switch. He's gonna E-Switch and then KO, and then he wins. That's what I'm saying, Taj. He has the play does make sense. He set it up. I don't know if 2X saw this coming because he just KOs, and then what? And he's gonna red card him as well, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Because maybe he gets rid of like red or Giovanni or something. No, he's got basics in red, but again, what I'm saying here is now what, right? So it's now you can't KO, and then he did just draw into Tyrogue, but then you give your opponent you know what I mean? You can't do that.
Yeah.
So the game's over.
Yeah.
Let's go. What a play, dude.
Yeah.
What a crazy outcome.
Was that double E-Switch or was that just one? That was double.
No,
right?
It was just one, but he had Sabrina and then the Shaman and then E-Switch. It was the perfect storm. The Shaman was the only reason he had the ability to do this, really. Right. Now you literally you get. I mean, I guess you can KO the active. Or just maybe hope that you don't get KO'd here if he doesn't have a basic and a damage modifier. But it's very
it's very unlikely.
It's an interesting play, and I don't think we're just playing your helmet. We're not playing cape, right? So let's see. Does he have? There's the basic. Does he have Giovanni as well, or red? He probably does. Taj, let's go.
Yeah. Also, too, it's crazy.
What an interesting deck.
What's crazy that Ohoo only runs 1 amp, which is just 1 Giovanni.
Yeah, that's crazy. He got it. He had every card. Yeah, I mean, he played that out perfectly, though. I think he really realized what would happen a couple turns ahead before. I didn't know what the play was. I realized it a little bit later. I was like, oh, he's probably stalling for the E-Switch so that he can set up and then KO without taking the damage on Oricorio, and he's healing up with Shaman. It actually was absolutely genius. It's crazy to think how specific of a deck that is. With the Shaman, with the E-Switches, with Sabrina. He has you got to find the pockets. You know what I mean? You got to find the little individual spots where you can take the advantage and win the game. Like that was kind of incredible. I'm not gonna lie. That was really fun to watch.
That was a super sick game. Do you want to watch a Charizard game?
Let's do it.
Top 16. Rockefeller. He is.
Where is he?
That? So.
Oh, down here. Okay, Rockefeller versus.
By the casting table. So like up.
Oh, up here. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Another top 16 match.
Yeah. No top 16 match. I think it's
Charizard.
It's what did I?
Top 32?
Did I say what? I said Charizard, right? No.
Charizard?
Did I say Charizard? I said Charizard, right? I'm not baiting you, right?
Yeah, Zard. You're good. Yeah, Zard versus
Okay.
Pikachu Korea, which is an awkward matchup in its own right. I think that when you get rid of Greninja and you kind of change the metagame a little bit, a lot of the matchups just become really strange. Like it's like, how do you prepare for some of this stuff, right? It's like you just don't really know what you're going to hit up against. 27 different decks in day 2. It really just ends up being I think honestly the results of this tournament are probably going to be chalked down to like overall skill and just being good at the game more so maybe than ever before, which I find to be interesting. Yeah,
also, I'm surprised there's not a lot of Dark Tina. I mean, like, are we just missing it? Or like,
no, it just did very poorly. Yeah, in fact. But I wasn't surprised by that. I know some people were like, oh, Giratina Darkrai is going to dominate. It was the most played deck in day 1, but you had Charizard, you had, Oricorio, you had Buzzwole, like a lot of stuff. You had Turbo Dark, right? All of the Turbo Dark Daycare decks. Like those are all decks that are strong into Giratina Darkrai. One thing that I've said, Todd, for the last couple of weeks is that all of these decks that people are playing aren't actually counter Suicune Greninja decks. They're just decks that beat Giratina Darkrai. And like maybe they go 50-50 against Suicune. So like now that we've removed Suicune, like people are still playing all of those decks. But Giratina Darkrai just coincidentally is bad against everything. Like everything that we've been watching today, whether it's Buzzwole or Daycare or Charizard or Oricorio Shaman, like these are decks that just beat Giratina Darkrai. So kind of makes sense that's we're not really seeing a lot of Darktina
because they already got beat, right? So
yeah, I mean maybe there's a couple still in the tournament. But it was actually the only deck, I believe, that had a negative day 2 conversion rate. So it went from 12% meta share in day 1 to about 10% meta share in day 2. So everything else went up, technically, in meta share, which is unique, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think people fully understood, but that is the case.
It makes sense, though, right? But as we go into this another top 16 match, I believe it's been 0-0. Are the players pushing through, or they are, right? I think we just caught them at the right time, it seems, right?
Yeah.
Lamp, everybody's playing right now. Everybody should be able to play, right? Yeah, it seems like.
Yep. Yeah, I think we're good. We can skip around a little bit.
Well, yeah, because I think right now, guys, we're at top 16, by the way. There's only 32 players left. Or sorry, wait, pardon me. Yeah, we're at the top 16, only 60 players left. And it's going crazy. Like, we're seeing a lot of crazy combos. We just saw again 2 XP versus Ohoo, and then now we're seeing Charizard, which is Rockefeller versus Armia, right? So
yes, correct.
And we're trying to show you guys different things, if that makes any sense, guys. Like this tournament is more about obviously we banned Greninja and it's a cool outlook or a cool outcome, but again, seeing Charizard also too, I'm just memeing because I love playing Charizard. And it was a 0-0 match, so I was like, "Hey, Maddie, let's play Charizard. Let's show Charizard." So, but also too for Armia, right? He's really bad spot here with Pika in the active. If you have Pikachu EX, you only run 1 because you don't want that guy in your active spot ever, unless you run XP.
Pikachu, Pikachu is the one Pokemon we never really want to lead off with, which is tough because like, in these lightning type decks, like sure, like you have Oricorio, you probably play Zero or you play Tapu Koko. Those are all pretty good lead off options. Well, Oricorio is probably not great in other options, but in other decks. But yeah, Pikachu is not what you want, so he's actually forced to just kind of burn an energy here, I believe, right? And then it's just crazy. Oh, the Guzma to get rid of the cape. I mean, if we don't see Oricorios, like Charizard will sweep through this matchup. Pikachu's not going to be able to kill the Charizard. We'll have to see how this goes. We'll have to see how this goes. Hold on, I'm messaging some people in the Discord here about some stuff going on.
And then, Manny, I'll just cover while you figure that out. Unless, did you need me as well for Discord, or are you good?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay,
you're good.
okay, cool. So I will cast while Maddie figures it out. So Pokeball does come out for Rockefeller here. And again, we don't see the Charizard on that yet. When they can research, we do see the Pokeball as well too. Now he's debating on what to put the energy on. Again, he does do find a friend with Cleffa. Hopefully he gets the Charizard, not the Charmeleon. And that's the Charizard. Now, does Pika run any hand disruption? They do run a red card. So if a red card does come out after a find a friend, that's a good play on Arma, because basically negating that find a friend. There's the Oricorio now. Hold on. What is Rockefeller? I didn't realize that Arma had the Oricorio. But what does Rockefeller do now against Bird? I think this might be GG's here. I played Charizard and I went up against Bird and I did not win. So.
Well, yeah, I think that the Charizard decks now with Cleffa are playing like one Charmeleon and they're playing like two Repels. So it's possible, but it's super awkward. Yeah, it's gonna be always pretty tough.
I mean, there's the guy. There's Guy. We have Guy and Guy, but
I mean, we do have Charmeleon, but I think you have to go Charizard here, and then evolve maybe the bench Charmander.
Guys, I didn't know Arma had an Oricorio. We would have shown this. It's like...
No, it's okay. I actually think I also think the matchup, like the scenario, is actually kind of interesting. Like, I think it's not an auto lose for Charizard.
No, I'm a Zard. Matt, this is it's when you're playing Zard, you see Bird, you just concede. That's what you do. That's how you play the game. That's your line for pocket. You just go next.
I think the math for traditionally, like Charizard, the Oricorio math is like 80% lose rate, but it is possible to win. You know, you got to keep that in mind. So we're gonna take 90 here. We don't actually have the Lily in hand, which is a little bit suspect. But if he retreats into Oricorio, we can just go into Charmeleon and then hit. So that is a possibility, theoretically. It might not be a good one, but you also have Sabrina, so you can actually just kind of bring up whatever, right? And he actually benches the last bench space, and it's not Oricorio. So the Sabrina is a safe play.
Yes.
And he does go into Oricorio here, right? So it's like you're taking 50, then you go to 130. Coco can't KO you, then you can Sabrina. You can take at least one prize off something.
Well, honestly, what I would do here is I would Stoke one more time. If I was Zard, I would probably Stoke here to get more energies to come back in. Because if you retreat without the energies, you have to add it back, right? So, I mean, I guess you have enough turns. If you retreat, you're down to 2.
He has the Lily, though. This is why you play Repel instead of Sabrina, typically. Because you can Lily and Repel on the same turn. But you have enough HP.
Wait, if he's Sabrina's now, but then he could just send out Zera. He sends out Zera and then he drops double Bird. Or
make him a Pikachu if you have a red in hand.
I feel like I should be Lilying right now, dude.
Well, but like if you Lily, then what happens? You just take another 50. You know what I mean?
Well, right, but
then you Lily and then go into Charmeleon, but then what? And then you get KO'd by Coco?
I'd rather Stoke though versus attacking.
You could rather like Stoke Lily here. But but the thing is though, so like if he KOs here, because he's probably playing. Actually, I need to check the list because like what is Rockefeller playing? He's playing one Repel, one Sabrina. So he has another Gust. He's got another Gust in the deck. So like he can theoretically get around this Oricorio again. Which, you know, unless we see a second if you see a second Oricorio bench, then you're in a tough spot for sure. And
that's why like having the full bench there kind of bricked Arma, right? Like that's the reason why I didn't want a Sabrina, right? You stoke up and then 1v1 with Oricorio and then you win the next matchup with your Zard. Like that was kind of the mentality for that. So, but also too, Oricorio can one shot. Or not Oricorio. The other bird, Tapu Koko, can one-shot Charizard. Potion? Wait, what?
He's got Potion Repel. He's got Potion. He does have Repel, though. Like, the Repel literally wins him the game this turn, unless we see something else get back.
Oh, my God.
I'm telling you, dude. It's like the matchup is way more winnable than you might think.
Wait.
He did. He just Marsed him into repel, and it's over. Have a good game. Have a good life. That's the Charizard experience with Oricorio. All the while, I'm dealing with a bunch of stuff in the Discord right now, with judges and stuff. So it's hilarious to see this unfold in real time. He's actually BMing him by going Potion Lily and then repel. But yeah, I mean, this is how this goes. This is how this definitely can go. We didn't even have to use Charmeleon, but you're playing double Gust. You're playing Lily. You can stall. You have Charmeleon for if you need it. But yeah, absolutely insane stuff.
And I guess too, like looking at Rockefeller's deck list, right? Having that Gust, having the Sabrina as well too, right? So basically it is 1-1, but usually, Charizard decks usually just run the one, kind of like Sabrina or something like that, right? So having the double allows you to work around that. So, but again, that was Charizard beating double birds here. And again, maybe that was a misplay from, I guess no, he had to drop Zera there, right? He had to drop Zera there.
Yeah, it's a weird play because it's like you don't have the second Oricorio. He just happened to go Sabrina Repel. You know what I mean? Like you didn't have another basic. Like it's hard to play around that stuff because you did Mars him. So like you're kind of under the impression that you're not going to put yourself in a position to where you're losing the game. You know what I mean? But as we know, that definitely can't happen. Sometimes like that. You know, it's really tricky. I would say that like you're in a tournament, you always got to play the game out, Taj. You know, you always gotta let that.
But again, for me, Maddie, as a Charizard stan, you know what I mean? Bird is like, guys. I know people hate Bird. I get it. It's healthy though, right? Having something to fight against EXs, it's healthy, right? Like it's just
you need Bird.
You need something. We need Bird, right? But again, me as a Charizard player, I hate Bird. You know, like imagine trying to eat some fried chicken and you can't cook it because it's Oricorio, right? So you're just like, all right. So, again, it's just also Pikachu start terrible for our Armia, and I think that's what Rockefeller needs for this next game. So, but yeah, whenever I see Double Bird, I'm just like, bro. So, but we do see the Pokeball coming out here, and also too going first for Arima, which is terrible. So. Not getting the energy.
This is the same start as last game.
Wait, are we just? Is this a repeat? Production? Can we?
I think we're on replay.
Yeah,
you might have been second in the game before, but
yeah. So as we wait for our players to make a move here. We do see Zera. So at least they get the Thunderclap Flash, right? So at least there's that.
Sorry, I got random people pinging everybody in the Discord server. Trying to figure that out in the meantime. Okay, what's going on here, Todd? What do we got? I apologize.
So Thunderclap Flash comes out at least for Arma, so he does get the energy. But we do see the Charmander draw.
We get the Char. We get the Char. We have Candy, Research, Pokeball, Char, and Charmeleon in hand.
Yep.
I think, again, this is going to come down to whether, Ari really decides to bench anything other than double Oricorio, right? Because then you put yourself in a spot where you can always get Sabrina and repelled. But I actually need to check. Is he playing one Corio? Or is he playing two?
Two
He's playing double Corio. I mean, he's only got 6 Pokemon in the deck. So, I mean, it's like, hello, Charizard. It's one of those... It's one of those games where... like if he benches double Corio, then you have to go Charmeleon, and if he doesn't, then we just draw into Sabrina or Repel and take KOs that way. But in the meantime, you can stoke with Charizard. We already have what we need on board, Taj, which is double Charmander, Charmeleon, Rare Candy, and Charizard in hand. So he can get the board states set up. He can start to set up, he can research, and then just sort of draw through his deck, and then maybe draw the cards he needs to when he has to. But the issue here is that Ari's giving him the extra opportunities to do that, going first and leading Pikachu. He just has to basically wait like 3 turns to put on any actual damage pressure, which allows the Charizard player to kind of do his thing for a little bit.
And again, no red card. I thought the red card was going to come out and reality rip, but here we are. So we do see the Rare Candy. So basically Charmeleon evolution, Rare Candy evolution, Stoke in the active, and research.
Double Charizard.
Yeah. And then, double charge would be insane, to be fair.
Well, so you stoke in his face,
Yep.
right? This is what you do, Todd. You stoke in his face and you say, listen, like, I'm just gonna stoke and then KO you unless you retreat. He's gonna retreat into choreo, and then you just I actually would I wouldn't even stoke I would split energies here so that you can attack on the following turn with Charmander. That might be a mistake that he might make here. We have to make sure he doesn't. But that's what I do, right? And I just sort of say, hey, like, you have to go into choreo, and if you do, like, here's a Charmeleon. By the way, he does not split here, which is interesting. It's an interesting play, but maybe he's hoping to draw into something here off the research, is probably my expectation. I would have split there just because, like, he's probably going to retreat into Oricorio. Yeah, but maybe, I mean, right? I don't know. Maybe that was the correct. I would have researched before anything, though. You want to? All right, well, so, okay. So, never punished, and now we just stoke in his face, and you're like, go into Oricorio, and then you do, and then you get repelled, and then, you know, you get killed. Strange. It's a strange world here. If we do see Charizard end up just 2-0ing the Oricorio, but one Oricorio is not as good as you might think. Like, you really do need 2 Oricorio because everyone's playing Repel, they're playing Sabrina. Charmeleon hits for, what is it, 50 or is it 40 for 2?
Looks like 40. No,
What
it's
a
gotta be
weak card.
50. It's gotta be 50, right?
Is
Oh
it
no,
50?
I think it is 40.
Like,
2 energies for 40. I think it's 2 energies for 40.
that thing should be doing 70 for 2 energies on a stage of 1. That's all I'm saying. I mean, Cranidos does what? 1 energy 50?
1 energy 50, yeah. But it's because Charizard does so much too, though. I think it balances out.
Come on, dude. It does 40.
And also the Charmeleon. Have you seen a Charmeleon only doing like 40 damage? Like I believe Ivysaur deals more damage with Razor Leaf. Yeah, with 3 energies. So even War Turtle does. I forget already. War Turtle. Okay. Anyway, here we go.
Who knows? I've never seen even War Turtle see any play ever in my life.
Big Man Blast.
Well, I remember. So you remember Machamp back in the day? Like, what was it? Machoke. He did like. Well,
he hit for 50. He hit for 50.
60?
200,
50?
250.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
he also had like 100 HP. So.
The Genetic Apex Pokemon. So we have Repel, so we just KO.
Yeah.
We just Repel because we have Sabrina in hand as well, and Lily, which is
also
hilarious.
I believe the Charmeleon from Genetic Apex, 3 energies for 70, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
3 energies for 70. Maybe you just run that one, huh? Could be kind of funny. Probably not.
Oh wait, no, it can't be 70. Wait, is it 70? No, because then that should work with Oricorio. Wait, hold on. Am I? Guys, fact check me. I'll look at chats later. So. Is it 7? Oh, I gotta look. Actually, I can just look at my phone.
Are you curious?
I can just look at my phone. Is it, maybe it's 60.
It could be 60. But anyway, we have Sabrina in hand, so like we actually win the game next turn unless he benches a second Choreo. We do see the research though. The Charizard player just has the plot armor, I think. Like, to be fair, Rockefeller is just sort of drawing the sauce. Charizard was a great pick to win the tournament as well. Charizard was a great pick because like Giratina Darkrai saw a lot of play, Buzzwole saw a lot of play, like even the Turbo Dark decks. Like Charizard is a unique deck where it's like it either loses to itself or it kind of beats everything else in the game.
Oh, it's 60.
The Rocky Helmet comes down.
It's 60.
60. Okay.
But it's still, I mean,
but Taj, like he probably loses here, like unless he Marses him again or something. But like we need a basic that's not an EX, and we need hand disruption. Okay, the red card. Does the red card stick again? Let's see, Taj.
He's repel. Sabrina repel. Oh my lord.
You can't get around it, man. It's
And you know what's so funny? Someone in chat was like, "Yo, this isn't a not interesting match. 10% chance of winning for Charizard."
It was like honestly, I'm pretty sure it's like a 20. It might be different now, but like traditionally, yeah, it was like an 80-20 matchup. Charizard or Oricorio. It's kind of funny. But we just saw the exact scenarios, like where you end up winning.
No, yeah,
where
you end up winning.
This is what has to happen for you to win, and it happened to happen. I kind of love it though. I'm all for the Charizard beating Oricorio here on live stream here in top 16.
It just sucks because Pika was the issue. The one Pika that you have in your deck, when you have, I mean, I guess two. You're only running one Tapu Koko too, right? So, what is the percentage on that? So you have 6 Pokemon, and then out of the 6. One of them's Pika that starts for both decks, so. But.
Yeah, he literally started Pika both decks, never got second Oricorio, both games, and also got Repel Sabrina in both games. Like, you know, that's the Charizard plot armor. Like,
Yes.
it goes that way. Do we have anything else? Like, are we ready? Like, what's even going on for the standings? Because there's been so much going on, and I'm a little bit behind.
Yeah.
It looks like all of the top 16s are done, other
Yeah.
than maybe one match. So
Yeah,
do we have like
so
a top 8 that we are?
we can push through top 8 right now. We can do.
I kind of want to follow Rockefeller again. I kind of want to see him go in the next round.
And then going
He's
against
playing
Meta Arc
Turbo
Hercules.
Arceus. Meta Arc Hercules, who is playing double choreo Turbo Arceus. So I kind of want to see it happen again. Is that maybe we should swap because maybe that's too similar of a matchup? But,
Wait, hold
who
on.
else?
You want our the hero to go against Double Bird?
He's probably gonna win again.
I
We
mean,
have LBN versus Fumba, who is that is Flareon versus Flareon. So that's a mirror.
yeah.
I think they might have already started though.
Yeah.
coincidentally.
Well, what Doug's? What is Doug's running?
Doug's here is
Arceus.
okay, so his match hasn't started yet, but he's playing Turbo Dark.
Yeah, Turbo Dark versus Oricorio Pichu. That'll be kind of cool. Wait, no.
We don't know who he's playing yet. Oh no, he just
Yaro.
Yara. So it's the
Oh, it's a
winner of
mirror.
Rob's. Is that Rob's again? Is that the man himself who got like third with Flareon?
Yeah, they're running Komala. So
okay.
Dark Arceus Komala versus regular Arceus with Tyrogue. So Flareon mirrors, which is weird. Or Key and Ohoo. What is Key and Ohoo playing? Tapu Koko versus Arceus. Like Tapu Koko again. Everybody's literally playing mirror except for this Charizard one.
Damn, we're gonna see a lot of Lightning might win this weekend, huh?
Yeah.
We got Flareons, we got Lightning, we got Charizard.
I think we just do Doug's.
I'm okay with whatever.
I say we do Doug's.
Okay, we'll wait for Doug's here in top 8.
Well, no, it's already. Everybody's ready. Everybody's ready to go. We're top 8 right now. Yeah, we just have to move channels, right?
Oh, Doug's. Oh, he just moved forward. Okay, I didn't see that. All right, let's hop in then. Let's hop in.
Okay, where are they?
Doug's is right here. I'm gonna jump over.
Okay. Okay, we had somebody come in Discord, and I had to, since we had the 4 rooms, but we'll go over that later. So
Somebody what? Somebody came in Discord.
We're good. I'll PM. But okay, so it looks like the match just started. Let me switch it. We'll pop it out. Let me know when you're ready to cast.
We're good. I think they're getting into their first game
cool.
right now.
Okay,
So
cool. So go ahead while I switch over the overlays. So Doug's versus
So it's Daycare. Actually, it's just Turbo Dark.
Turbo Dark versus Kamala. So
Kamala Turbo Dark. Yeah, so the difference here is going to be Kamala as opposed to Tyrogue. Now, the Kamala probably in this mirror matchup doesn't matter. Like, typically the mirror matchup isn't really reliant much on, like, the Tyrogues or the Kamalas. Like, it's all about, like, getting your babies out, setting up your attacking Pokemon. What we do see here from Yaro is the Arceus in the active going first, which is, like, no bueno. That is, like, what you do not want. That is, like, the ultimate ick when you're playing this deck. But at the same time, Doug's doesn't even have Arceus, so he just has double Darkrai. And he is going to be able to... Yaro's going second. But he will take 40 here from the Tyrogue, which puts that Arceus in range of getting KO'd by the Darkrai. So that's a very valuable turn. Even though you're going first, Tyrogue is actually kind of a broken Pokemon going first, right? Because when you're playing a 3-energy attacker and you're playing the energy accelerating baby Pokemon, using that attack to accelerate the energies on your first turn actually doesn't change anything at all because you're not attacking until turn 3 anyway, right? So that's the big difference. So when you're playing Tyrogue, you can actually use it going first to get free damage off, as we see right here. So now we can go into Magby and then still set up with Darkrai and attack on our third turn, just like we were doing anyways. But now because we had Tyrogue, we were able to get Arceus down to 100 HP, now down to 80, and still set up for the KO with Darkrai in the subsequent turn. So I actually really like this scenario right now. At the end of the day, what is Yaro going to do with Arceus in the active spot, right? It's just very unlikely. Oh, never mind. He actually does play double Leaf. I forgot because he's playing 2 Kamamas. So he might just even have Leaf in hand, but maybe he doesn't, right? So that's the awkward part, where Doug is actually not playing any Leaves, but that's just because he's playing more Pokemon. So When you're playing Kamala, you have to play Leaf just because you're playing yet another Pokemon that you don't want into the active spot. It's kind of the reason why I don't love Kamala, even though it's more of a consistent option into Oricorio. It's a much less of like a consistent like Pokemon in that sense. You know what I mean?
I feel like if you're running Darkrai, why not just run Tyrogue?
Yeah,
I feel
but
like Tyrogue,
we see
yeah,
we see the Leaf and the Darkrai bench. So he's going to go to Mantike. He's going to set up. And now it's like, what's the play? What's interesting, though, is that we can KO the Mantike with Tyrogue and Giovanni, but then he's got Kamala on the back line. So that's that advantage of like, okay, so now we can go 1-1-2, whereas the Darkrai deck, or sorry, the deck without Kamala can't really do that, right, Tosh? So it's interesting. We actually don't even need to use Giovanni, right? So he's just going to go into Tyrogue and take the KO. But it's awkward. It's awkward. This Giant Cape might be the difference maker here in terms of living an attack from Arceus or not. But you're still going to have to come in and KO the Kamala, truthfully, right? So there's really no easy way to do that. But Kamala has 90 HP, so it's harder to KO actually than like an Oricorio, right? You can't use like the same Darkrai Giovanni combo with Tyrogue to take the KO.
and then also wait, if you add the energy to the Kamala and the active, it falls asleep, right? So like,
yes, that is true. Actually, I kind of forget about what Kamala does because I don't see it very often. So Yaro is not playing any Pokemon Center ladies, so you're right. There's no way to really play around the Kamala, and you can't bring in an attach yet because then you fall asleep. So I kind of forgot that stipulation, in fact. So yeah, Kamala in this scenario is not very good, and I would just say that Darkrai is in a very, very good spot. So no matter what you do here, you can kind of chill out. Wow. Okay, so it does kind of look like the meta game. Like we're now into like top 8. So it looks like we've got a couple Flareons, a couple Turbo Darks, a couple like Pikachu Choreo decks, and then I think we also have like a Charizard in there still. Rockefeller still playing. So that's sort of what the meta game this week ended up being. No Darktina, basically just every deck under the sun that's strong into Giratina Darkrai. But no Suicune Greninja, which opens up the path for all of these other interesting decks, and I think that's really, really cool. When 30% of the meta isn't Suicune Greninja, you get an opportunity to see, these other 3, 4, 5 top decks that are not Suicune Greninja, which I actually really like, Yeah. It'd be interesting if like the Turbo Dark stuff ended up winning.
I mean, it's fun.
It is fun,
You know what I mean? Like but also now the downside, Maddie, is like what I think you might have set up, which you didn't realize, the perfect storm. We're basically setting up the meta for megas, right? What are people going to be playing with?
We have accelerated the mega meta.
That's what I'm saying.
We've
Yeah,
gone into it already.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So literally, like, you treat Arceus or Darkrai as a mega Pokemon, and we're going to be at the same spot. But
we're already here.
The cool thing though.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you do have to evolve though, right? So again, you need the Mega Blaziken.
Do you though?
You do need the. Well, right? No,
there are basic Mega Pokemon, Taj. So none of them have been confirmed.
Oh, okay.
But if they were to come,
well, no, there's no way they're gonna make. No,
dude, you gotta understand, like a Mega Absol could come in with like 150, 60 HP and just be absurd. There's stuff like that. Mega Kangaskhan is gonna be a basic Mega Pokemon that's colorless.
And there,
if that ever comes to Pokemon Pocket.
But there's already Megas into TCG, right? Like that. Right? Or
yeah, right. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like in Pocket specifically, like that.
Mega Kangaskhan
are crazy. Dude.
Flip.
Imagine adding a Mega Kangaskhan to this deck,
6 heads.
This exact deck.
Flip 6 heads for like a Dizzy Punch or whatever. Like.
Yeah. You're right though. Like the baby Pokemon like toolbox packages are really what the features are probably going to be with Megas. Maybe not. We'll have to see. The Kamala does finally come in here, and now what we can do is come in and maybe just sort of hit with Tyrogue here. I don't really know. Actually, no, this works because you do 70 with Giovanni. We drawn to repel anyway though, so GG. Actually, we don't take the KO, do we? Oh no, we do.
No, because they have to.
No, that's only 120.
They have to send out. They have to send out the other Arceus.
Yeah, and that's only 120. You could. So his play originally was to go into Tyrogue, hit for 70, and then finish off with a ping on the following turn, which is not a bad play. Probably still the better play actually than playing the repel this turn. But actually, maybe not. It doesn't really matter. Because now he's got to go into the Arceus. But he does play 2 Leaf. Has he played that second Leaf? I wasn't watching. Has Yaro played the second Leaf already?
No.
I know he's got 1 in there.
But I like this play here. Also, I don't know why he didn't add it to the other Darkrai, but.
You can still stay in with Tyrogue too. You got to keep in mind.
Yeah,
you
can still stay in Tyrogue. I don't know why. Because now he's
Nah, it's fine. I mean, because then what? Like you have to leaf and because you can't leaf and red in the same turn.
Right.
So that's his lock. Yeah. He can't modify the damage. He can't just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
anyway,
it's a conceit. No, again, the leaf plus red. I was thinking that he could do both, but no. So.
Well, he could have gone back into Kamala, but then, like, if you leaf into Kamala, and then you hit, you don't KO. I feel like that would have been a winning play, kind of still, right? They only had one prize, maybe not. Maybe I just missing something there, but either way, interesting little mirror there. I don't think Kamala is very, very good in the mirror. I will say, I just don't think it's that useful.
No, it's for bird.
It's bird. definitely for the bird. Which there is a couple of birds, so like if he moves on, like he very well could hit a bird next round. You know what I mean? Interesting, Taj. Could Turbo Dark win?
So this is what, Maddie. I use Turbo Dark to rank.
You do?
During Suikun, like what I mean. Like I again every time I play Dark Tina, I'm always getting double Darkrai, double Giratina. I never get them in unison. So you'll never see me play Dark Tina. It's just that I just get one Pokemon and nothing else. Like this,
Well, I've been telling people for like 3 weeks that, especially in ranked, I would not be playing Dark Tina. But okay, so here's the thing, Taj. Like this is irrelevant to the game right now, but I might unban just Greninja next week and just see if the winning impact of whatever deck that's not Suicune Greninja this week balances out the metagame, because I actually think that not many people are going to play Giratina Darkrai next week, and we might see just a ton of Turbo Dark and Lightning stuff. So like I might just go back to Standard next weekend and see if there actually is still a lot of meta development changes. Like I haven't decided that yet. Maybe we'll leave it up to the community, but I think that could be interesting.
Matt, I will say this, Maddie. All right, because first of all, the game's not even up. I apologize for that. Sorry, guys. Thank you. I apologize. Yeah. So now the game is up. So basically, you guys didn't miss much. Magby adds the energies to Snorlax. Pichu adds the energy. This is actually Yaro's first turn. So second turn, or they went second. So the energy onto Arceus and then dark energy add. So Maddie, what I was gonna say is that you are again a TCG god, right? You understand TCGs very well, and you always say thinning is winning, or you always believe in the draw. Card
advantage.
Yeah, card advantage, right? So I'm still not saying picking it up, right? Like obviously, like I would, yes, you want Suicune active at all times, but like, I feel like the card advantage of Suicune is just too powerful with Greninja. You know what I mean? Like
I know.
So again, like
but
now here's the thing. Why is Suicune not being played though? Like why is Suicune not being played right now?
You need Greninja. Yeah. The cards don't really matter unless you have something to draw into. And when it's Greninja, then that's a whole different story. But if you remember, like last week, Suicune Taj had like a 46% win rate, so it actually didn't do very well. Ori Ninja did really good, which is kind of more so why I banned Greninja, because I wasn't trying to deal with like double Greninja, double Oricorio decks again this weekend, because those are a lot more difficult to counterplay, and it kind of forces you to still play Suicune Greninja to counterplay that deck. So that's why I kind of decided to ban Greninja, just because of the development in the metagame being a little bit toxic around Greninja specifically. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I think the metagame's just better without Greninja. I'll be 100% honest with you. I think it's just a better game. But
I think it's just because of the card draw allows Greninja to go by faster.
Yeah. Right.
And you can't really do Greninja and Sylveon, but now with Greninja Suicune you can.
They did back in the day. Remember before Suicune, it was Greninja, Sylveon, Giratina, which was a fine deck, but it wasn't that good of a deck.
Well, it was still clunky. It was still pretty clunky though. Like it was still.
Yeah, for sure. Yes. Suicune's broken. Suicune is a broken card.
It's broken. It's just funny. Yeah, when you pair it with Greninja, because now there's no Suicune decks at all, right?
So. Is it Snorlax time, Taj?
Looks like.
So he's probably going to go into Magby again to buffer. Just going to try to draw into a Darkrai to bring it up the turn. So he's going to research here. And if he has like red and like a Darkrai, so no Darkrai or red, but Giovanni does still work, right? So 130 plus 20 with the Darkrai ping on the following turn if he has it, plus Giovanni does end up being... Oh, maybe you just go into Tyrogue here and do the damage that way. That's probably smart. But then you lose to like a Sabrina Repel. I don't know if he's playing it, but he's going for it. He's got to get the damage off on the Arceus so that he can KO with Snorlax on the subsequent turn. But Yaro. So is Yaro playing? He's not playing any Repel or Sabrina. So this is a smart play. This is definitely a safe play. So we'll sweep this game if it comes out.
I also feel that, right? Like what's crazy, the Mars and the red I can get behind, right? But when players don't run retreats or Gus or like repel, like I feel like you need at least one. You know, like
repel is just too good of a card, man.
It's like disrupting the back line I feel is so big.
So what is he gonna go into? He goes into P2 now. So what is he trying to set up, like the Darkrai maybe? None of this works that well. Is the reality of it? Like the Snorlax is such a strong Pokemon. 130 is 130, man. Like it's like Arceus, but he's just got like more damage. You know.
But also he falls asleep. That's the only goofy part. The fact that people don't care about that is crazy.
Well,
like,
it's a 25% chance to stay asleep, so it's like
right. But every time I've played Snorlax, I've been asleep for like 18 million turns. Again, like my math is my math is like horrendous. You know, it's like
you can effectively just go into Snorlax and repel and then KO this turn, but then you put yourself up to chance with a coin flip. So KOing with Tyro here is safe. Again, this is all safe because he's not playing Gust. You know, so like there's no way.
So you can't get to that Magby in the back line.
Yeah. And if you just had like one repel, then then you could get around this big boy Snorlax in here. Oh man, is Snorlax in Legends ZA, Taj? I saw you were you streaming Legends ZA recently?
I was, yeah. Legends ZA is super good. So basically, this is my little pitch for ZA guys. Okay, people hate ZA. Like a lot of people are giving hate on it because the graphics are terrible. I agree, right? Like the wall, like the build, like you're in a city, you can't even go into buildings, right? Like it's I get it, right? There's like ledges that you don't even need them because they're on the windows, right? However, I will say this: Pokemon is a turn-based combat game, right? What Legends ZA is doing is making it a non-turn-based combat game. So if
have
Pokemon
you been playing ranked?
If Pokemon not yet.
On Legends ZA?
No, if Pokemon was I feel like it's gonna be goofy as heck, that's why. But if Pokemon are you playing? I
was playing ranked last night for Legends ZA.
Oh.
I was loving it.
That's insane. Yeah. So you feel me though, right?
I actually found a crazy metagame, and I kind of want to talk about it later. If anybody in the chat is playing Legends ZA, I have some interesting.
I mean, Maddie,
I'm the meta guy, so I find the stupid stuff.
You ready for this? Maybe here comes the ZA Mads, or here comes maybe.
I think they have private matches, dude. We could run a ZA tournament, I think it's a real.
I'm down, Maddie. But anyway, basically what it is, right? So all you guys that are curious about wanting to get it or not, right, is that with ZA, right? Again, Pokemon is a turn-based game, but in ZA it's live action. So you have cooldowns, you have range, you have melee. So, and again, it's not the greatest, right? But it's one step closer to us having an actual.
It's better than Legends Arceus combat. Let's be
exactly.
Fair, right?
Yeah. I mean, Legends Arceus is still turn-based.
Arceus better than ZA?
So
stuff?
I liked Arceus because you can fly, you can run around and all that stuff, right? Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
But again, the combat, like strong style agile, it was cool, but it wasn't like, I love how ZA has
Dogs with the wind,
live action, like they have like live action versus like turn-based, like, because I believe the next game that we have coming out is gonna be something great. Like I think we're gonna be done with turn-based, like, you know what I mean?
I think Gen 10 is going to be a mix between the battle system in ZA and then the catching collecting Pokemon system of Arceus.
Yeah, because imagine if Pokemon started becoming live action versus turn-based combat. Like that literally just changes everything in Pokemon, right?
Yeah, and that's what's going to happen, I think, because that's what Pokemon Champions coming out is going to be about. It's going to be the replacement for the turn-based battling system. That's my assumption.
Well, Champions is basically Showdown. Like that's all it is.
Right, that's what I mean. So like the games themselves aren't going to have the turn-based battling. It's just going to be done in Champions.
Right.
That makes sense.
I still think it's going to be turn-based.
That's my opinion.
I still think it's going to be turn-based because you can't.
I think Gen 10 will be real-time battling like ZA.
That'll be because you can't change like Pokemon. You can't change 20+ years. Like, you know what I mean? Like.
I think they'll do it, man.
Okay. No, okay.
Maybe
not. You feel me though, right? Anyway, it's like we're playing chess and then we change something all of a sudden, right? Like chess is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I will say though, it's fun. Like I've been playing ranked.
I'm having a blast.
I've been playing ranked in Legends ZA, and it's kind of fun because like there's like skill involved. Like it's like reaction times and like
you can do like detect, protect, like So
right, yeah. So it's kind of fun. And like, what's really unique about the battling system is that the moves traditionally are better for different reasons, and it's like the actual like mechanics of the move itself. So like things like fly or like bounce or you know those like kind of 2-turn moves in turn-based battling like typically aren't that good. But in ZA they're kind of crazy because you like disappear for a minute, so you're like perfectly safe.
Force, all that stuff too.
Yeah, and they like have specific advantages like dig. Like there's actually like a lot of really cool stuff. I will say anybody right now that is playing Legends ZA or playing ranked mode, play Waterfall Bounce Gyarados. It is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then you can play like Dig, Drill Run, Executor, or not Executor, Excadrill.
Excadrill, yeah.
Yeah, with Iron Head, it's broken. And that 2 combo, right? Because, what is it? Gyarados is really only weak to lightning. And it's a flying type, so you're immune to ground. But then you can just swap an Excadrill if you're going up against a lightning opponent. Right. I absolutely blitzed my way to like rank A last night.
And if anybody does like Toxic, you can use like Excadrill, right? So
yeah, you just have and fairy Pokemon Excadrill can cover with metal. It's pretty funny. Like that combo is ridiculous. Anyway, that's my tangent.
Guys, make sure you guys subscribe to the ZA Pocket Mads or ZA Mads YouTube channel coming out. Just kidding. So as we get here, Maddie, what I'm going to show is the top stuff on the screen because we might not have enough time. So I went to basically the pairings. So we have LBN and Fluba, the 2 Flareon decks 1-1. We just saw Doug's go 2-0. And then we saw Key and Ohoo, they're 1-1. So
Key and Ohoo. So we have so inevitably we're gonna have 1 Charizard, 1 Flareon, 2 Turbo Dark, and then 2 Lightning decks, whether it's Turbo Arceus or Coco Pikachu. Which is interesting. So although the Buzzwolds ended up falling off, I think they kind of maybe just hit too much fire along the way. The other being Flareon or Charizard. Pretty cool. Like a pretty fun little final here. A lot of lightning, a lot of fire, a lot of dark. I mean, that is really the types other than water in the metagame. I would have liked to see Buzzwole maybe, break its way into like a top 4, but it's awkward, right? Because Buzzwole, it might be really strong into maybe some of the dark stuff or maybe the lightning stuff, but as we saw, it did lose into a lightning deck. But in the same vein, you got Flareons, you got Charizards running around. So I think that there's a really nice triangulation already formed for this Greninja Band metagame, which is interesting.
Or the ZA or next week's ZA tournament that we're gonna host, right? No, I'm just kidding.
The ZA tournament will pop off. Let's go.
I'm down. Let me know.
But also ZA? Really?
So again, they're hating on the fact that the graphics are not updated. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and you're in a city that you can't go into the buildings. Like, in Pokemon you can go into and also like there's the sewers and like that's it. Like there's no.
What are you gonna do in the buildings? Like that's what I don't understand.
Well, so like in Pokemon, like I know it seems dumb, but like you can like go in the buildings, you find items. There's trainers. There's trainers in the building. You know what I mean? Like literally, ZA is basically just like there's no depth. It's just the city, and what do? You're on the rooftops or in the streets. Like
it's really just a battling. It's just a battling game. Like it's all about that battling system, which is fun. Like I'm not gonna lie,
100%. And I agree, but a lot of the people that are quote unquote the haters, Pokemon right? And again, fans, but also they're valid, right? You're valid to be upset about it because the graphics are bad. Now Game Freak is also working on other games that look insane. Also, the Digimon game looks insane. So like you feel me? Like
you gotta. Yeah.
Pokemon is like
I think people
is a top game. Like
it's the
and yet it still looks like the 90s. Oh, not the 90s. I would say like the it's still it looks pretty like again. People are valid on their complaints, and even if it is a lot, they're valid. Like you can't so.
Yeah, but anyway, I think it's tough with Pokemon because one thing I don't think everybody necessarily understands is that like in a Pokemon game like this, you have to animate every single Pokemon. You have to like there's a lot that goes into the game with 200 plus Pokemon that requires a lot of the development time and also like the memory of the game and the actual file sizes and stuff. So it's like it's kind of tricky when you're building a Pokemon game. It's like you want the environments to look great, but you also want every single Pokemon to be animated properly in all of the moves. Like there's hundreds of moves, hundreds of Pokemon.
I think the moves are cool. Like the Ice Beam looks sick. Like the waterfall, the surf, sweet, like they look all cool. So
surf looks cool, dude. Waterfall Gyarados is absurd, dude. It's so ridiculous. Whoa, man. Anyway, we're waiting on our top 4 games right now, by the way, for all the people.
I mean, we could try to jump in. I thought it would be like we're kind of doing the yap sesh, right? Like a nice little yap sesh. So how about this? So Matt, we could do some yapping, right? So, is there anything like planned in the future, like for next week, like, or do you want to talk about that while you can talk? I mean, there is a delay, so we can't, read chat anyway. But like,
yeah, we will be doing our tournament a week from, well, on Saturday, so next weekend. It'll be the final tournament, actually, Taj, of the season, right? Because after that, it's B1 territory. It's the anniversary update. It's Mega Pokemon. The world as we know it will be changed forever, and we will be here for it. And I guarantee you, we will be not only covering everything on YouTube, but we will be running our tournament series into B1. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that. Box GG, shout out to them and the sponsor. But I don't have really in terms of next week, I don't really know. We might go completely off the cuff, Taj, and we might just do like a legacy format tournament. Maybe we do standard, who knows? Maybe we do, another sort of specific band tournament. We just have to figure it out. Tomorrow on Meta Monday is where people will hear about that and, get sort of the link to register basically. But there'll be one final tournament to send off this metagame until, things absolutely explode, which I'm all for. But yeah, nothing is like concrete at the moment in terms of what we do next weekend. We'll have to wait and see. Tonight is probably where we'll figure that out.
Yeah. So I do apologize, Maddie. I'm just gonna let the community know I will not be here next week as your caster because why? I have a 4-year-old daughter. Her favorite holiday is Halloween. So we'll be also it's her birthday weekend. So we're actually gonna be at a D&B. We rented out a space in D&B for her friends and then the families. And we're also gonna go to the zoo. So you can actually like go to the zoo and like dress up in your costumes and like look at the animals and like see like a bunch of kids in costumes. So I will not, guys, I apologize. I will not be here. Maddie, again, please bring me back next week for sure. But it'll be a great weekend, and I hope you guys have a blast doing it. I'm super excited for the next
bring you
caster.
in for the B1 launch.
Yeah, no, for sure. But just letting you guys know that I won't be here because again, we'll be celebrating my daughter's birthday as well as like her Halloween early, right? So, but Maddie, let's enough about my weekend.
Match.
We do, right?
We have a top 4 match ready to go. It is Fumba, our first top 4, and Doug's. This is going to be Flareon versus Turbo Dark.
Cool.
Yeah, man, winner gets to move on to the grand final. So these are both of like the Turbo decks in the format. In the metagame right now, Fumba is screen sharing, so we can go ahead. Or actually, we're watching Doug's right now. If we want to just maybe keep his perspective, we don't have to go anywhere.
Do you want the Doug's PO? We can switch. Do you want the? And also, we have his deck list already on too. So.
Yeah, I feel like we can just sort of stay with Doug's. I think that's all good.
It was really smooth too.
The perspectives don't matter. Yeah, right. The stream quality is good. So if you're all ready to go, if you get the stream stuff set up, I can let them know to.
Yeah, sure. Lampot. Hey, Lampot is he's being mean to me, but I agree. Lampot said ZA looks like an Xbox 360 game, and I agree. But
yeah, but some of the best games of all time were on Xbox 360. So
that is true.
People care too much. Honestly, people care too much about graphic fidelity.
No. But Maddie, this is what I'm saying though. They're valid because why? You look at like Breath of the Wild, all that stuff, Mario Kart World, and then you see like you know what I mean? It's just Pokemon's got to step it up in that. Like that's all I gotta say. Like
yes, I agree with that. But again, the development is different. Like you have all of the Pokemon, they all have to be animated. They all have the moves. It's people don't understand what goes into game development, and I'm not a game developer, but I am, educated in the arts of computer programming, and I do my degree in comp sci. But like,
so
people just need to understand a little bit that like you can't just slap high quality textures onto a game and like say there's that.
Right. And that's why I feel like you understand more, which is cool because I am fighting for that. So let me know when it's popped out and ready to go so I can pop it out for the peeps at home.
Ready? All right, I'm gonna let them know we're good.
Oh, okay, cool. Because also too, the second match is we do have our top 4 people, by the way. So
we're all both ready.
Yeah. So the next, and we're gonna hold them too.
Let me talk to the other guys.
Well, no, we're gonna hold them. Yeah. So basically, ladies and gentlemen, if this was on your bingo card, we have Meta Arc Hercules versus so Charizard did not make it, and yeah, it's
sorry.
It's gonna be
Zardo.
Yeah. I mean, we take it. So, but we are gonna be watching Fluba again with a Flareon EX deck versus Doug's, who we just saw as well. So again, I basically do believe that we are in the baby power up meta, right? So
Yeah, we're in the baby meta. You're either playing you're either playing a legendary beast or babies. Like they're both broken. That's kind of just what the meta has been, to be fair. You're either playing Suicune, which is really the only legendary beast that's worth playing, or you're playing baby Pokemon.
Yeah.
Nothing else is as strong.
Yeah.
Like you either draw the cards or you generate the energies, you know what I'm saying? Without Suicune, you probably want to play babies. You know what I mean?
Also, what's funny is that it started. Jeez Louise. Okay, cool. Maddie, this is our top 4 again of the $250 prize pool, again sponsored by Box GG. Again, check them out, guys, as well too. This is Doug's shout out box. Doug's versus Fluba. Again, this is match 1, 10-minute delay, so we can show everything. This is great for the casters. So yeah, Maddie, I'm all up for this now. We do see now again. This is not, again, well, what's interesting is that it's not Jolteon box because there's no Suicune Greninjas. So you can kind of go...
Yeah. What? Do you really need to play Jolteon without any water in the format?
That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like... It's kind of like we went reverted, but also I kind of like Jolteon because you can kind of go like... possibly like a one...
You can go turn 2, going first, attack. Yeah. That's something Flareon can't do no matter what, right?
Yeah.
So... maybe that matters. I don't know. I would say just being able to always KO Oricorio and not leaving it up to coin flips is probably worth it, especially just if like there's no Greninja, no Suicune or anything. I would say, yeah, like if it were me, maybe I wouldn't have played Jolteon, but I don't think the differences matter a whole lot, honestly. But anyway, this is an interesting one, right? Because both these decks are very similar. I will say that Flareon is a little bit less consistent in its approach, but has more reach, right? So more consistently being able to hit above that, damage threshold. Although, Turbo Dark Arceus kind of does the same thing as well. So, I don't really know. I'm actually curious. Let me pull up the metadata here, because I kind of want to go like, I want to figure this out real quick. So let me pull it up here. So against, so 50% against Darkrai Arceus, and then if we add like a Snorlax to that equation, what's its win rate? It looks also like 50-50. So yeah, this is basically just a 50-50 matchup here, no matter how you slice it. Which I love. I love that.
Yeah, so it's whoever doesn't brick in a sense, right? So
yeah, they're just evenly matched. So both decks are very equivalent in terms of how they function. So let's see, man. Let's see how this goes. I'm excited. I am very excited. Top 4. It looks like we might get a Flare and might get Turbo Dark here. On the other side of the bracket, it's what now? It's Lightning and Turbo Dark. Turbo Arceus and
with the Tyrogue, yeah. So
with Tyrogue, yeah, okay. Yeah. Interesting. We might just see Daycare win. I'm just gonna call it.
The reason why
Turbo Dark.
The reason why Daycare could win too is because the Eevee cheese, right? So Tyrogue plus Darkrai chip could knock out an early Eevee. So
that's a big advantage. Yeah, if Flareon moves on here.
Yeah.
Although, so Doug's is playing. Let me pull up Doug's list real quick. So he is playing the double Tyrogue, yeah. So I would say, but there's a lot of times where that Tyrogue really maybe isn't even that useful. Like we see here that the Arceus just KOs the EVEX, which like means that he probably wins this game, right? Coincidentally, but like Tyrogue can be a little bit of a liability because it can also get KO'd by an EVEX's bite attack, right? So it's like kind of like a double-edged sword. But you definitely don't want to lead find a friend Eevee against Turbo Dark for sure. But I would say this game is probably, a bit wrapped up. Theoretically speaking, you could stick in here and maybe hope he doesn't have a basic, but it's Daycare. He's probably gonna have a basic. He's gonna hit for 130 or 150 with Darkrai Ping. So in this scenario, right, Doug's just sort of got the advantage, and that's all you really need for the matchup. I would say that both decks actually struggle though. Like if you're the first person to get KO'd, like where do you go from there, right? Like neither deck can really set up a second Pokemon that quickly. I would say Flareon does a better time of that. Like as we're seeing right now, at least he does have an option on the subsequent turn, but like it's just very difficult overall if you're the first person to get KO'd like that. So
yeah, I like you said, I think oh man.
But Tosh, what if Doug maybe doesn't get Arceus next game, right? Like
right.
Then you can't KO Flareon. So
yeah. That is definitely a thing too. Yeah. So there's been times where again I have played this deck and then not have just use Arceus and just use Darkrai, and then Darkrai doesn't have enough gas to kind of push.
I actually covered this deck on my channel a couple days ago, and 2 of the matches that I showcased were against Flareon. In neither game I got Arceus, and they were just unwinnable because I couldn't KO anything.
No, right.
So there's definitely that side of things for sure. he is playing one Snorlax, so you know he has double Arceus and Snorlax. Both will do the job against Flareon, but yeah, without either of those, you literally can't do enough damage to KO. But we see here the Darkrai lead and the Arceus lead a little bit tough here. He might just concede turn one. He's going first, Darkrai lead. Like this is why this is a 50-50 matchup, Taj. You either win it or you don't. You know what I mean? The upside though, in tournaments, it's kind of interesting, but in like ranked specifically, I actually like playing Turbo Dark because there's those games like this that I will just concede immediately.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like on to the next. You know, efficient grinding. On to the next. It's like I might just do it. You can do it if you want. You'll give it a turn or two, but like I fully understand if Doug just moves on to the next one because, you know what I mean. I get it. I really do.
And again, like
it looks like Light Rain. Light Rain just added the box.gg command to the chat. So if you guys want to go ahead and use !boxed GG, you can go check out the website. Sorry, I just wanted to plug that.
Oh no, yeah, sure. And again, thank you, Box, for the sponsor. So,
yes, incredible.
But yeah, again, I it's just that high aggression, right? Like, so it's so this is
they're high roll decks.
No. Well, so Matt, this is my mentality, right? In a sense, you have like ranked grinders, right? Like ranked grinders, and you have tournament goers, right? It's hard to use a ranked grind deck in a tournament per se. Like, you feel me? Like,
people don't like to oftentimes, right?
Right, but sometimes they're just defaulted because that's all they know how to do, right? But sometimes you need to adjust a deck just like slightly, even though it might take away power, but like, you know what I mean? Like, just one leaf for Doug could possibly save it, right? Like,
yes, it's really tough. Like when you're playing a deck like this, like the losses you can take in ranked, right? Because you're going for win streaks. But in tournaments, like when you're playing, and that's why I classify a lot of these decks as like high roll decks, which is like they either are really strong or they do literally nothing, right? Charizard was the original. We've seen them in the past, like Dragonite is an example. But I think that when the baby Pokemon came out, we had like a new version, a new flavor of these like high roll decks that I call them, which are turbo decks, which are decks that are basically reliant on being exceptionally strong potentially on like turn 2 or turn 3 at the latest. But there's no guarantee that they are, right? So they're effectively high roll decks, but they're like early game high roll decks instead of like mid to late game high roll decks like a Charizard and a Dragonite is. And they're interesting, but this is the scenario that we see with these decks, which is that sometimes they literally don't do anything. They can't, you know what I mean? Like, what do you do here? You just let Darkrai go down and then hope that he doesn't set up like double Flareon? Like, that's the win con? Not very likely for that to happen, but theoretically speaking, it is possible.
I mean, hold on.
Yeah, no leaf in the deck.
Yeah, hold on. I guess he could, like, somehow if his opponent like attacks and KOs Darkrai and you have an Arceus already set up, so you can like, you know, return KO the Flareon, but like we're in semifinals. Fluba's not gonna like, you know, have that. He's gonna set up.
Well, but he's just gonna wait. You just get double Flareon and then you go Flareon.
Yeah.
But that's the issue, is that here is like you could be attaching to Darkrai and you could put the pressure on the Magby, but then if you get KO'd, you have nothing set up on the backline, right? So he's electing to set up the Arceus because you can't attach to Darkrai because it will be getting KO'd. But as we see here, Fiumba, he's saying, you know what? I'm literally just going to find a friend, get both my Flareons, and then the game is over, right? So that is the win condition here, and that is what he's going to be able to do because Darkrai, you just can't, like, you're not playing Leaf in the deck. And like I said, you just can't attach to Darkrai because you're going to get KO'd and then you have nowhere to go. So here he does get 2 entities on the Arceus. He's going into his 3rd turn. Now he can start attaching to the Darkrai, but he's still 2 turns away from attacking or KOing anything, which is going to allow Fiumba probably, and not guaranteed, but probably be able to draw into what he needs. And that's the first Flareon that comes down there. That is the first Flareon. And if we take a look at Fiumba's deck here, there we go. You can drop the game now, Doug, if you want. And you know, but there's nothing you can do about it, right? It's like when you're playing Suicune, right? And you just don't draw. You like lead Froakie going first, right? And you just don't draw. Like every deck has that, right? Pokemon Pocket is very reliant on just sort of like having the early advantage, the early pacing, or just not having anything, you know? Like every deck kind of has that to some degree, other than Giratina Darkrai, I would say. But even that deck, right? Sometimes you don't get Giratina down and you lose. So,
yeah. Oh, I trust. Again, Matt, I've tried so hard with Tino.
You know,
like it's just like.
Yeah, I hear you. This season, it's really not that good right now. Theoretically, there is a world where maybe you could have like Marsed him to 1 and then attached a Giant Cape, but you know, I don't think Doug is playing all that business, right? So there's a couple of ways to get around this. Like you said, you could play 2 Leaf in your deck, but then you're minimizing consistency of actually having the Pokemon, which so in more cases or not, you would rather just play the more Pokemon to just have the more consistent option than just playing 2 Leaf and then playing around not having the better leadoff option. You know what I mean? Like the math works out. Like just cut the 2 Leaves for the Pokemon and then, yeah, you don't have a way around it, but it should be happening less often anyway.
My mentality too is I've actually done this. I've used Doug decks before, but I've also took out the Snorlax. But then I just feel like it's good for the Darkrai matchup, but like,
yeah, but then you have those scenarios, Taj, because there's only so many Pokemon that work in the deck. So when you cut the Snorlax, then you're increasing the odds of you leading off with the babies and then not having either Arceus or Darkrai. You know what I mean?
No, right.
So like
right.
you have the math is very tight. And that's why I was saying, like, when we get, like, Mega Kangaskhan to the game or whatever, like, Mega Absol, like, it might be broken. Like, it might, like, something like that in a deck like this might be absolutely disgusting. It might just be
Mega Absol with Dark Pendant.
Yeah, it's like, so there's just opportunities for stuff like that. And we have the core Foundry, but as we see here, now we have babies, now we have Arceus, now we have Darkrai, and it's a different game now. But that's the catch when you're playing these daycare decks is that, you know, again, you can play Leaf, sure, and you do get around those opportunities where you maybe lead Arceus or Darkrai, but your deck overall is still less consistent than just playing, you know, more baby Pokemon in place of Leaf. So like that's the weird part about it.
Because just the math, right? Just the math, right? Like that's...
Yeah, the math just worked. Yeah. Right. So you know, it's just strange, and you know, that's kind of where the turbo decks are at. No Tyrogue, though, going first, so he will just end up toasty tossing, which isn't going to matter, but it could matter theoretically.
I mean, the cheese could happen, yeah. If Tyrogue gets drawn, oh, there's a Pokeball though. But
well, does it matter if you're going first? Because like theoretically, you can get 3 energies on Arceus on your second turn, and then have the ability to attach to Darkrai on that third turn. Whereas like if you didn't toasty toss, that would be the case, right?
Well, so basically,
like, we technically get an extra. Which will go into Darkrai on the third turn, so like we can hit for 140. So I guess it does matter in that sense, but most of the time, it doesn't matter.
Basically, the half deck start for Fluba looks like, right? Research and then double Pokeball, right? So literally only 10 cards left. But what I was saying was that if he had a Tyrogue and no other bench Pokemon, he could like just Giovanni, just Giovanni Tyrogue and just win. But the bite now,
so, like, right. Exactly. So now you have to go into Pichu, but does any of that really matter? We do see the cape in hand though.
This is just like a Mega Start. This is just like a Mega Start. Like, you know what I mean? Like Mega Pokemon don't care. They sack the babies and then.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Exactly. Right. And like so, and again, he attached to the Eevee, right? So like now, do you split energies? I guess you can, right? Because you went second. So like you can actually attach to the bench. Still KO with Eevee, and then have a Flareon set up with Combust on the back end to KO Arceus. So, like, theoretically speaking, going second here is a big advantage for Eevee with this EVX in the active. But it's a bit awkward, right? Because, like, if you only have one Flareon, you don't really want to evolve the active. And then we see here Doug has Giant Cape, so he's going to have Red and Eevee bag to KO that Arceus when he comes in. So it's an interesting development here. It's really just going to come down to whether or not Fumba has sort of the combo here. And like I said, he attaches to the bench DV, but we don't know if he has Flareon. We don't know if he has anything. He might not have. He might have Flareon Eevee bag red. Who knows? But
also, Fluba does run 1 Repel. So
sure.
So
does Doug.
Well, right, but like basically, if now there's a Darkrai coming. Okay, yeah.
Right. So then he would need Eevee bag or red and Repel. I guess would be another win condition here with Darkrai. But because it's 140, not 160, right? So I mean, you're right. You're not wrong. But again, this comes down to the fact that listen, like he either has the ability to KO Arceus the following turn, or you lose. Right?
I would drop them on here.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, dropping.
Well, no. Fluba doesn't have red card. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. But I mean, why not? I guess you're just holding it for like a Tyrogue or something anyway. But he's got 2 prizes, so like, what are you waiting out for?
Right.
Like, what's the actual reason?
Like this is basically Arceus versus the world at this point. So.
Yeah, but he goes into Magby, right? So he doesn't have Flareon in hand, apparently. Or if he does, he might not have red and Eevee bag. So, like, the 160 matters. Like, the cape matters, bro. Look at him. He's moving the mouses around. He's like, listen, does he have it? Does he have the sauce? And this is where, like, if he didn't have Arceus, you lose the game, right?
No concede. Jesus, the fact that he pulls it out, that's wild, dude. Like,
he's ready, dude. He's ready. Frame 1. He's ready to see the combo come down. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Flareon red.
See the red and Eevee. So there's the Flareon. Do we see the red?
Eevee bag. Flareon red, Eevee bag.
There's no way that's the last.
150.
He needs 2 cards in his hand, and he has 3 cards left.
Oh, Turbo Dark. Moving on.
Damn, Dogs.
The grand
Dogs.
final.
Dogs in the finals.
Yeah, you know, again, like, like we saw both sides of the coin, right? Like, do you not have Arceus? Do you not? I mean, he had Arceus all 3 games, though, coincidentally. So, you know, he did miss, like, that scenario, but he did lead Darkrai. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, game 2 was really bad. But, yeah, pretty unfortunate, to be honest, to have Arceus all 3 of those games. There's definitely a lot of scenarios where the games could have not gone that way. You know what I mean? But, anyway, Taj, we're going to be hopping into the second top 4 match. Congrats to Dogs for moving on to grand finals with Turbo Dark Arceus. And we have Ohoo versus playing, what is this? Arceus Tapu Koko. Arceus all over the place here.
Yeah, Koko
And,
versus Koko, which is crazy.
The last 3 decks are actually all playing 2 copies of Arceus. Yeah. So, or one, I guess 1 copy of Arceus in Ohoo's scenario. But Arceus is the guy right now. He is him.
Do you know who, like, what their names are? Because it says Energy Volt and I don't.
Oh, let me ask.
Well, who do you want? Whose POV do you want? Ohoo's or Hercules?
I don't really know. Whatever is better. Whatever's like a better screen quality. Bags. Okay, so he says his Discord name is Bags. I don't see a Bags in here. Bags 2124. I don't see a Bags in here. We'll get him into screen share. I don't know why they're not in here already. They should have been in here, but you know what? It's okay.
It's okay.
It's all right. It's all right.
Oh, there's Bags. Okay, we got him. We got him. You see him?
Hey, hello. Yeah. Let's hop into Bags' stream.
And guys, just want to let you guys know. When Spectate Modes comes for TCG Pocket, this will be so much smoother. We literally have players on their phones screen sharing their matches, and we are screen sharing Discord and live streaming it to you guys on YouTube and Twitch. The inception of that is crazy.
Most of the time, it's not that bad though. Like the quality is pretty good on a lot of these streams.
For sure, yeah, 100%.
This is 2025. Like, I mean, the technology has developed, you know, in some way or another. So let's get it. We are going on to top 4, our last semifinal match before grand finals. Winner goes on to play Dogs, which is also Turbo Dark. So we have both. What is this, double lightning here? So. Yeah, man.
Ooh, wait, pause. No, Maddie. Dogs has such a good advantage. Because what beat Birds? Tyrogue. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Tyrogue plus Geo is just...
But we've seen it before. Like, trust me. Like, you're not wrong. But, like, at this point, anyone could beat anybody. Like, I think all of these decks are fairly well matched. Because, like, if we go and we look at... let's take a look. So, like, let's just say, like, Meta, for example, is... playing Arceus and Pichu, but he has beaten 1 Turbo Dark already in the tournament, and he hasn't played any other one, and he beat that 1 matchup, right? Whereas if we take a look at Ohoo, he has beaten 1, 2, 3 Turbo Darks. Or sorry, he's gone 2 out of 3 against Turbo Dark.
Oh, so, like, Ohoo's the one running the Shaman, right? Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
we already watched him beat 2 XP.
Yeah. Okay,
like, so
wait.
it's like,
and he 2-0'd too, right? Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
This deck is crazy, bro.
Yeah. So guys,
2-0, 2 Orcorio.
Yeah, this is the semifinals, guys. There's literally 2 more matches, and we are going to be done with this tournament. And again, judges and admins, despite what happened in Discord, I don't know what was going on, but smooth sailing. I mean, like, again, this is the first match here. Let's cast this, you and me, Maddie. Again, we are in the semifinals. 2 more matches yet left in this tournament. Whoever wins this faces against Dogs. But again, Ohoo, whose POV, we're actually watching Meta's, pardon me. We're watching Meta's POV here, has beaten many Turbo Dark Arceus. So
he's on another level, coincidentally. The Shaman really does change things, right? It really does, because it's just like a very unique Pokemon in like going up against Darkrai's, right, with the Orcorios. But he does lead Shaman, which is obviously not ideal. Whereas Meta does lead Pichu and he gets the energies on Zero Aura and Arceus, right? So like fundamentally, right off the bat, Meta's feeling okay, and he's got Mars in hand. He's got maybe he top decks an E Switch, who knows? The Zera also comes down, and the Oreo comes down for Ohoo. But that Shaman is in the active, right? So like theoretically, we have to burn an energy. Maybe he probably plays X Speed, in fact, now that I realize it. But Ohoo is playing what is it? No X Speeds in the deck, so never mind. And the research comes. Okay, so let's see what we pull here off the research from Meta. Because like being able to just KO with Arceus this turn would be absolutely nuts. He's not going to be able to do it, unfortunately. But he can set up his own Oricorio, or he can get the energies here just kind of piled up, right? So this Pichu will get KO'd by Zero Aura. It's got 2 energies. Ohoo electing to attach to Zero Aura, so he's going to get the 2 energies on the Arceus to KO. Yeah, like this isn't Turbo Dark anymore. So like now, both players really have, what is it, like they got Arceus, and then one player has 1 Arceus and 1 Tapu Koko. So like those are the attacking options. Everything else is basically just an Oricorio fest. So you are kind of required to get set up either your own Oricorio or Zero Aura, right? So the E Switch, the second Oricorio, and the Cyrus.
Holy
okay.
moly, dude, that was a reality ripping red card.
Yeah,
there was a universe.
Is huge, yo.
Yeah, there
the
wasn't
massive.
There was a universe where that red card didn't give Hercules a Cyrus, E Switch, and a bird, but we'll never know, right?
We ended up. So what's going to come down to this, truthfully, is like Ohoo gets the first KO, but it's with Zero Aura, right? So what's important here is that Arceus is going to be able to take a KO and then not get KO'd back, and that could matter. But it's got so much HP with Giant Cape that this is effectively a free KO, and then any damage that Arceus takes will likely not matter at any point in the game unless it gets brought up later in the game with like a Cyrus, right? So that is an important thing to note. This Oricorio will be able to come in, hit 50 on this Arceus, and then Ohoo will maybe be able to finish off this Arceus himself with his own Arceus later in the game. That is a win condition. But for now, he's ahead on points here, or he's even on points, but he's about to be theoretically behind on useful board state HP, right? Meaning on the Oricorio / Zero Aura. So we'll have to see if this damage here ends up mattering for sure. But it's going to be pretty tricky regardless, because now, he's going to come in and get the first sort of attack. Like, how do I explain this? His Oricorio will take damage before either Meta's Oricorio or Zero Aura will take the damage, right? Which matters unless a Cyrus play comes out later in the game, because he's effectively ahead, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Now keep in
Maybe
mind
not?
too,
Am I crazy?
right? Well, no. Keep in mind, Meta doesn't have any other backline attacking besides Cyrus, right? But there is damage on this Oricorio, so
right. He's got the first. So right. So like he lives and then he KOs and then he gets the first attack off, and then like the subsequent turns just end up with him winning. So the only way he loses here is by getting Cyrus up in his Arceus getting KO'd.
But he doesn't have enough.
Lose the game.
But he doesn't have enough gas because there's no Arceus in play.
Right, that's what I mean. So like that's why that matters, because now he's going to retreat here, but we see the Cyrus in play, so he can just KO, and then it's like, but do you really want to do that? So like again, the Cyrus bouncing might matter here as well, theoretically, because if he retreats, then he could get Cyrused, but then he's still ahead, right? So it really doesn't matter a whole lot. Like I think you pop the Cyrus here, and then you just get the first attack off with your other Oricorio. It really doesn't matter. I think Cyrusing here is always better than retreat. No, because you can't attack with the Shaman, so I don't think you really... Actually, because what if Ohoo has Cyrus? And he does play one copy of it. He's going to burn the Cyrus this turn. Cyrus and retreat?
Also, I love to see how it's cat and bird violence. A lot of people are enjoying this, seeing the Oricorios bash on each other, so...
Yeah. And does he retreat? No, he's not going to retreat. No, I don't think you do. I don't think retreating does anything for you. Now, burning the Cyrus, though, is interesting, because now he can potentially stall for a little bit. You know what I mean? But I think in general, he has an advantageous position here.
Yeah, I think Ohoo I think Meta's is gonna send out the other bird. E switch could.
He's got to get. That's what I mean, dude. Like, what's going on? But he can go into his own Oricorio here, right? So now he needs Cyrus and E switch.
And Hercules already used Cyrus, so.
But he already used Cyrus, so it's like you could use E switch to pivot, but then he could set up his own Oricorio, Like he could bench an Oricorio and attach and effectively be in like an okay spot because he's got double E-switch in hand as well. So we don't know what's in Ohoo's hand. Like, I mean, this is such an even matchup. Like you know what I mean? It really does.
Basically,
this
is gonna come down in 2 turns. The match will be in about 2 turns.
Yeah, because maybe he does have Cyrus, right? Maybe Ohoo does have Cyrus. Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't. Meta already played his Cyrus. I don't know if he's playing 2. I think he might be playing 2, but
only 1.
Only 1, right? So he already used his Cyrus, right? So that's the tricky part there. But you know, on that turn before, if you retreat and then you get Cyrus, like you kind of lose, right? So probably the smarter play to just use it. I hope your opponent doesn't have it here in this scenario. But yeah, E-switch Cyrus, you lose the game. Yeah, man, it's tricky here. Do you attach to the It doesn't really matter where you attach to though, because you do have double E-switch in hand, unless you get disrupted, hand disrupted. He attaches to the Arceus. That's fine. And then we just hit. Your fate is out of your hands here, Taj, for this for meta here, right? It's like you either lose this turn or you don't. There's really no way around it.
Wait. So Ohoo needs to retreat E-switch Cyrus. So there's a Cyrus. Do we see
No, he's got it. Yeah. He's got E-switch Cyrus. What? He's got E-switch Cyrus. I'm told you. It comes down to whether or not he had a Cyrus play later in the game. And he did, Taj. And he did.
Oh.
And he did. He had Cyrus and E-switch, man. I'm telling you. That's what that game came down to. You know what I mean? It was determined that turn when he went into Arceus and KO'd and then took the damage. Like that's when that happened.
Right. That allowed for the Cyrus play. So.
Right. And maybe he didn't have it, right? You know, there's a world where he didn't have it that turn, but like I don't think Meta made any wrong plays.
But
it was just he was put in that position.
The reality ripping red card actually helped out Ohoo in his favor by making.
Yeah. Man, it's funny. Like whenever you play like effectively mirror matches like this, you get into those funny scenarios where it's like, who has the cards they need to win, right?
By the way,
this is the first mirror we've watched all day.
Well, no, but also
it's not even like a real mirror, but
also Ohoo is a top 10K player and only level 44. That's what
crazy. A beast. He's got a brand new account. He's new to the game.
Wild. Yeah, that's.
His first season. He's just all the way into top 4,
dude. Yeah,
he's killing it, man. Absolutely killing it. The Tapu Koko lead here is pretty important, though.
Now, if Arceus is drawn with the Pokeball, which again, you're getting 3 cards here.
Yeah, but you only have 1 Zera. Now you got to research. You can just effectively retreat though, and not take damage on the Pichu. I wonder if that's even better than being behind on energy. Like I might do that. I might just not Crackly Toss and just go into Oricorio because you're taking 20 on the Pichu anyway, which like is a little bit sketchy, right? And now that it matters, but like that theoretically,
he's going for it. Yeah, he's going for it.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. Theoretically though, like that is a Pokemon that you can bring back up. You know what I'm saying? Like later in the game, right? So he's, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's only a 1 prizer. It's not a 2 prizer, but yeah, it's a little bit suspect. We also haven't seen Ohoo do anything yet, so he's got the Giovanni, dude.
Wow.
I'm telling you, Taj. I'm telling you, I would not have done it. I would have just gone into Choreo. I really would have. I genuinely would have, bro.
There is a reality where Pichu would have been retreated, right? So Oricorio does come in for meta here.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy, bro. Like, it's a gamble, but like.
No, I agree on that play for sure. And again, also too.
In hindsight, everything's better in hindsight.
Ohoo doesn't have any. Well, Ohoo does have the Sabrina Cyrus, so.
I see the Arceus come down. He actually doesn't have. If he had double E-switch, he could just. Oh no, he couldn't. But anyway, you can cape the Arceus here, and you can really start to put on like a lot of real pressure. But you are gonna have to burn one of the E-switches here to attack this turn, which is tough. But he might not. He might just split. Yeah, and just split and pass. Probably smart, right? Because you just force him to bench something. Or is he? Okay, never mind. He's just gonna do the damage. But would you also make this play though, Taj? Because like if you didn't attack this turn, then you threaten the KO with the Arceus on the following turn, right? I guess you're assuming he's gonna bench something, so you'd rather get the damage down on a 2-prize Pokemon. We saw this last game.
Yeah. So. And also too, it's a Cyrus target for next turn.
He does have Cyrus. He does have Cyrus in hand.
Yeah, so it's a Cyrus target next turn. And
but what if he doesn't bench? If he doesn't bench anything, then he missed out on winning this turn. He could have won this turn. You know what I mean?
But Ohoo's thinking 3 steps ahead. Yeah, Ohoo's thinking 8 steps ahead, dude. You gotta remember that. So.
Yeah, he knows. Yeah, he's a time traveler. The Mars is a suspect play, given no basic Pokemon have already come out yet. But
I definitely would have Mars.
We have Cyrus in hand. No, this is correct. It's fine. Because we put the pressure here. We KO the Choreo next turn, or Coco next turn, no matter what. We Mars him to 2, which is technically -2 card advantage, which is beneficial regardless.
But
and
now
then we have Arceus on the back line.
it's gonna be it's gonna be double research, double Pokeball, and win con.
Yeah.
See, there's the Pokeball. See. I'll tell you,
one of those.
I'm telling you, dude. Yeah,
We're
Mars.
And the double.
Wait. The Mars was either Pokeball or Choreo and research. That was literally any of the cards that Ohoo needed. That was
There's
literally
a
one
world
of
where this game was over five minutes ago. Like,
sometimes
you made 2 plays that probably didn't seem like misplays at the time, but like they just ended up obviously not being ideal.
Well, also too with the electrical cord, now these birds also get energies for next turn as well. Like that's
right. I know. But I mean, yeah, and then you lose to Cyrus again. I think this is what this comes down to. Because like, he stays in. Okay.
So no E-switch. Well, I guess he almost drew everything anyway. So it's.
But now you go into Arceus here, to KO.
Yeah. And then you.
Oh no. Do you? No, because he only has 1 prize. So you're okay with this. You're okay with taking 2 here, and then yeah, because if he had 2 prizes, then yeah, you would go to Arceus anyway. But like, because he has only 1 prize, it's fine. You just split. You take the damage on the Choreo. You retreat next turn, and then you have Cyrus in hand, right? So you have Cyrus, and you know you're up 2 prizes to 1. Like you should win the game here, but I mean anything can happen, right? Anything's possible. Anything is possible.
So I it's so funny too with like cat and bird violence, right? So now do you just stay in? I guess you do just stay in, right? You
just stay in.
Yeah.
Well, there's a case to be made to just play the red, get it out of your hand.
Because Choreo is Coco's
What if he just benches Arceus and double E switches and then he loses? There's a world where that happens though. Like that's the
and then you have your Arceus ready to go. So yeah, I would just attack here though, and then keep the red.
Nah, I would retreat, dude.
Retreating the cat? I guess so.
Yeah, so you don't lose to double E switch.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because if he benches Arceus, retreats double E switches, you literally lose. like you do actually.
Which Ohoo has been.
No, it's gonna happen to him, bro. No. Get out of here, Tosh.
So no, we're setting up the content.
I'm not even kidding you.
Because that's what's gonna happen. Oh, shave it.
All right, he probably doesn't have it.
Wait
a minute. He's got it. He's gonna have it, Tosh. Get out of here, dude. I'm so done if that happens. I'm so out of here. I might end it. There's no way, dude. Maybe he's got like another research or whatever. Nah, all right. Could you imagine? Theoretically, though, he did open that up to him, which is funny. But yeah, luckily, he had the Cyrus. He's got it going for him. So good for him. We will be going into a game 3 of this like effect. It's not a mirror matchup, but it effectively is. It's just one guy's playing. One guy's playing, Shaman and Coco, and the other guy's just not. He's just playing double Arceus.
It's so funny. Basically, who wins the game is like whoever plays the Cyrus, right? Or whoever kind of gets to the Cyrus play, right? So
it's effectively the mirror, like because Shaman's not really mattering here, and Coco and Arceus effectively do the same thing in the matchup. I would actually say that the double Arceus player, so Meta has the advantage just because Arceus is more valuable than Coco. Theoretically, like, you know what I mean? Like a theoretical scenario, I would say that Meta has the advantage in the matchup, but the decks are 95, 96% probably the same in terms of how they function in the matchup against each other. So the reality is one of these 2 very similar decks will go on to play Turbo Dark with Double Tyrogue, which is going to be absolute cinema. It's going to be a movie, which I can't wait.
Well, also too, the fact that Ohoo literally beat like 3 of them already, right? On stream, we saw him beat 2XP really easily too. So
you know what I want to have happen, Todd? I want the Lightning deck to win the week we ban the Water Pokemon. Wouldn't that be ironic if a Lightning deck won the one tournament where we don't have Suicune? I feel like that would be gratifying for me, considering I've been saying that they don't counter Suicune for some time.
Right.
It would be pretty ironic, but also pretty funny. We lead Pichu. No other basics and research. This could potentially be a very, very early game loss if we get unlucky here from Meta. So we'll see. He's going first, though, so that's beneficial, I guess, to not getting donked. But
needs the Pokeball.
Hey, we're good. Oh, Ooh, he's got Arceus and he's got Zero Aura. But you do want a choreo, right? Because, you know, theoretically speaking, they could just go Coco turn 2 and just start smacking you. We could see another Coco Giovanni KO turn 1. But where do you go from here, right? We have PC. I forgot. He didn't even know he played PCL in the deck. Have we even seen that card yet? That's
Nope.
actually pretty relevant. So I guess that's kind of being played in place of Shaman, which is funny. But Arceus does come down, but he's going second, right? So he will be able to attack next turn with Arceus, whereas Meta will not. So without an Oricorio, you're going to be at a disadvantageous position right now, I would say, honestly. Unless we have more basics, the research is really, really nice now, because maybe we could just draw into like a basic and we can revenge KO Arceus on Arceus action with red in hand. Let's see, we need a couple basics here. That's 1. That's a 2. So yeah, I actually do like this. This is probably going to be Choreo,
And
unless
Bird,
it's second
yeah.
Arceus.
Bird.
Yeah, it's Bird. So I actually think you're in a good spot, because you could actually go into Choreo and just sit. Or you could let him KO Pichu and then just revenge KO with Arceus and red on the following turn, and then also be in a good spot and have your Oricorio be just there. It's a weird play. He does play red card. We do know that. The red card does exist, and it seems to come out about this time always. So I think here, though, you always go into Arceus. It's just the question is, like, do you crackly toss, or do you just maybe stall out? Maybe just kind of bog down for a turn and go into Choreo so that nothing gets KO'd, you know? At the end of the day, he does choose to do that. That's fine.
Go to Oricorio.
It's a bit interesting because he doesn't have E-Switch in hand, right? So, like, theoretically speaking, you know, you're still putting yourself in a position to where, and here comes the Zera, that you could be the first person to take damage here, which is coincidentally not very good. Which is why I maybe don't love that play. Like, honestly, just feeding him the Pichu might even have been better, because what we would have seen is just an Arceus in the active, and then he could have taken 2 prizes, right? So I know the red card exists, but honestly, like, baiting out Ohoo to make that play kind of seemed a bit better, I'm not going to lie. Maybe not, though. We'll see where this goes. Again, he does have Cyrus and red in hand, right? So, like, those are important cards to the matchup right now. We see the attached to Zera. Is he going to pass? No, he's going to E-Switch, and he's just going to, like I said, he's going to take the first. Yep. Yeah, he's going to, and the E-Chord, so he's going to be the first person to get damage off here, which means that, like, you could go into your Arceus and take the KO, or you could go into your Zera Aura and get some damage off here.
But he also needs to E-Switch himself, too, though.
Well, he can manually retreat. He does have the E-Switch. So if you go into Arceus and you KO, you just maybe hope he doesn't have.
He has a
basics.
leaf too.
He does have 2 cards in hand, though. Like, I might go into Arceus here and take this KO, because, like, what are the odds that he has damage modifying and double basic in that 2-card hand, which will be 3 cards? Like, it's very low, right? He doesn't even play. He doesn't even play damage. He plays 1 Giovanni. Do you really think he goes double basic Giovanni?
No.
And if you go into Arceus, then you don't get KO'd, right? And then you do open yourself up for Cyrus later on, but then you're going.
Does he burn the leaf now, or does he retreat manually?
I would hold E-Switch. I don't think Leaf matters that much. Well, no matter what play he does, I would play the Leaf and hold E-Switch. Or just hold both. I don't know if it really matters that much. But your choices here is you go into Zero or Arceus, right? So if you go into Arceus and you take a KO, you're probably living, or forcing him into Pichu, which is both, I think, fine, because then you're not taking damage, and then you can just leave maybe the following turn into Zero Aura to KO the Pichu. You know what I mean? So I like manually retreating and then going into Arceus and KOing. That's what I like here. He's going to crackly toss.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He only had 2 energies. He only had 2 energies on the Arceus, so.
He has E-Switch, though.
Well, I know, but you're saying to hold the E-Switch, right? So.
Well, I guess you're right. Yeah, you're right. I guess you would have had to use E-Switch to KO this turn. I think that's fine, though. I would have rather KO'd with Arceus this turn. Because, again, you're safe. So you know he's probably not going to go into his Arceus. And if he does, then you just KO and you win. That's what I would have done. Maybe not the correct play, though. The comments will tell me that I'm stupid, so I'm totally fine with it. I'm just giving my perspective because I'm not playing right now, and there's a reason why I'm not top 4 of my own tournament, because I suck. So you give up the prize, but now, again, you have Oricorio with, like, low HP as well. You know what I mean? So now you're in, like, a... the plays weird. I get you get the energy, but now what, you know?
I like the player because he's basically going 1-1-2, right? So he allows.
Yeah, but you could have just not given a KO this turn, because now, like, the thing is, now he can KO with Arceus. Now, I guess you're right, though. It's like you do want him to go into Arceus at some point, so maybe you want to just sort of stall for a bit and then take a KO elsewhere. But the thing is, then you're using Cyrus to take a 1-prize KO, and I just don't think the game ever wins that way, because then you end up losing to Cyrus yourself. That's what I mean, right?
Right.
So unless the Arceus is coming to effect, Taj, like you're behind. You're behind. You're actually very behind this game, because your Oricorio is in KO range, and you're down 1 prize. So it's like I just don't like that. I don't like being in this spot particularly. It's basically what I'm saying.
I mean, Lightning Call does connect though, so if you just return KO with your own Zera,
You could E-switch into his other Zera. Yeah, I guess you're right. Oh no, he's got PCL. I forgot. Okay, so the PCL is good. It matters a lot actually, because now you live and you can KO, and so this is fine. I forgot he had PCL in hand. Maybe he was playing around the PCL, because that is a unique advantage that he has as opposed to his opponent here. Because Shaman's not really helping, right? So, 30 damage on 1 turn is better than 10 damage, like, every turn. You know what I mean?
Right.
In this matchup, that where like the 2-hit KOs matter, right? So.
and also Ohoo
now
doesn't have any like he doesn't have a cape, so.
Right, and he's playing just 1 Giovanni, so like, the red card. I mean, he really did want that Cyrus, I think, but. Red E-switch Pokeball is kind of fun. Never mind. He got red card silvered. So this is, it's really strange. So like both Cyruses have yet to be played. You can retreat. He benches Choreo. So like you can retreat here. After you take the 50, he goes in Arceus.
Well, I mean, it makes sense because he saw the hand, right? So
you're right. You're right. He just did remove the red from the hand.
And
yeah,
so,
this
but
is,
again, Pokeball top deck red. Now also, if Ohoo has the Geo, which it seems like he's playing that he has it, right?
Yeah, but you never would. You would just wait if you had the Geo. He's banking on the top deck here. Oh, I think he mars him anyway though, and you just hit him. You could E-switch into Choreo here, in a full HP Choreo, but then you lose. So he actually elects to. Yeah, let's see. So you got to play the Mars. You always just play it because he's at this point in the game he's making decisions based around the cards that are in his hand. So regardless of what his hand size is, you just play the Mars. So
Giovanni gets drawn. Just kidding.
You probably.
Giovanni
so you
gets
go into
drawn
Choreo here probably. You could just hit him though, because what if you top deck Cyrus as a win condition? He does just hit him. Taj. He does just hit him. So he loses to a Cyrus. He loses to a Giovanni. Let's see. 2 cards in hand first works.
Giovanni was added to.
It was, yeah. So, okay, so you play red and Cyrus in your deck. Both are win conditions. Now we're playing off the top deck. That is neither what we want here. So now we do lose to still the same thing. So now you just have to go into Choreo, because you lose to an E-switch if you go into anything else. So you go into your Choreo, and you do have a Leaf. So you can play the Leaf this turn and conserve the energies on Arceus, which does matter. Although it doesn't really matter that much because we have E-switch anyway. But anyway, both players immediately just playing off the top deck. Everything is out the window right now. Taj, both of the players are just waiting to draw their win conditions. That's all it is.
Well, why is he not?
Zera? Okay, he loses to an E-switch, but that's fine. He's just doing it. He's just playing all the cards here, I guess.
Oh no!
I don't know what's going on. It's fine. It doesn't really matter either way, because he wins off the top deck regardless. So he's just doing his thing. Both players win off the top deck. So I mean, you are giving your opponent the opportunity to E-switch for game here, which feels bad. But let's see. Oh, the research.
No.
That's not a Giovanni or a Cyrus. So if he doesn't have E-switch, he doesn't
get the
win.
E-switch here.
I know. I think he's played 1 E-switch. I don't know. I can't see.
Yeah,
his
he
discard pile.
He did, but I feel like he should have went into Oricorio.
Yeah, I agree. I would agree. He might have it here. He might have thrown.
No.
He might have thrown, Taj. Might have been a throw. It
was.
He's got it.
Brother.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's a tough world.
I mean,
out here.
guys,
I don't know if it really mattered though. Because like if you go into Choreo, yeah, you don't maybe lose this turn. I guess you give yourself an additional.
Yeah, you give
draw.
yourself a turn to get the Cyrus.
Yeah, you get an additional turn. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. It's it's hard. Again, we're not.
Again,
playing.
we're not
in
playing.
top
Yes,
4.
exactly. Yeah. So.
Hindsight's 2020. Like it's a hard deal. Anyway, pretty fun. I love when games just come down to whoever draws. You know what I mean? It's kind of funny. Both players though played pretty well, I would say, overall. Interesting matchup for sure. But now that player there, Ohoo, has to go ahead and play. Is it Doug Turbo Dark in the grand finals?
Doug.
Oh man.
Doug's 92.
Lightning Arceus versus Dark Arceus. Let's see who can make it happen. Now, the Orcorios, like you said, he does play Tyrogue and whatnot.
But again, also Ohoo still beat again like 3
He did, yeah, I know.
Turbo Arceus is like super.
He's 2-1, I think, against Turbo Dark, but he did win one in Top Cut, so about to be absolute cinema here. Who's this guy streaming below us? Oh no, Doug's is streaming. All right, we want to hop back into Doug's. We'll watch his perspective. Oh, Grand Finals, Taj. Another week, another tournament, another Grand Finals. I'm excited, man. I'm loving it. I love Pokemon Pocket. I love the community. I love you, Taj. I love the players. It's been a great time. Shout out to the mods, to the the judges for making the tournament series happen, and then of course, congrats to both players for making it to Grand Finals. I am ready.
And you know what's crazy, right? Is that we had over like what 100 and 120 like for Top Cut, or what was it like?
Oh, it was top 128, but we had 69 players in Top Cut.
Yeah, so 69 players, and it's only been 3 hours. Like this is going like we're running this ship tight and smooth, dude. Like we are, all turbo decks. That's true,
it's
right?
All turbo deck.
Yeah.
Like the Suicune stuff is fun, but like the games do kind of go a little bit longer, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
So,
and Guzzlord and Suicune and Oricorio, like it's
that is true. Yeah. So
now it's all just turbo decks. It's it's all just like decks that are absolutely cruising. But anyway, let's do it. Shout out to both players here. Doug playing Turbo Dark Arceus Daycare. Ohoo playing Tapu Koko Arceus, which is really just like Turbo Lightning Arceus with Oricorio. So, kind of interesting. It'd be really crazy, though, if Lightning did end up winning. I'm not going to lie. We do see is this going first? The going first lead with Babies and Arceus. So this is, again, the thing here is like, do I bench this? Do I get repelled here? Ohoo not playing Repel, but he is playing one Sabrina in the deck. But we do see the Snorlax bench, Taj. So here's something that's very interesting about this matchup is Snorlax being basically like an auto win condition other than the Oricorio stuff, right? Because like Oricorio just can't really do that much to Snorlax, and Snorlax kind of tanks stuff from Arceus and Tapu Koko. But in the same vein, you do need Tyrogue consistently and Darkrai to get around the Oricorio. So we do see the Snorlax bench. But I don't know if it's really going to be that useful, He is staring down an Oricorio. He is staring down the Oricorio. It'd be crazy, dude. Like, if everything that happened over the last 2 weeks, if Oricorio and Arceus won the tournament this weekend, I don't know what to think.
But also, what's crazy is that Doug's did put down the second baby, but again, right. Ohoo doesn't run any. Well, actually, he does run a Sabrina. I apologize. So there's a Sabrina there. So Snorlax could get like stuck out there, right? So running the double baby there prevents your Snorlax to just be isolated in like no man's land, right? So,
but going with the Snorlax play is interesting, right? Because now we don't have bench space for Darkrai and Tyrogue. So, and here's the Tyrogue though. So, I mean, we can go in and we can take the damage, but we're getting it KO'd on the flip turn. So,
right, and also, Matty, here's the funny part. Ohoo does run a Shaman, so if Snorlax did go out there, well, wait, but then Snorlax, Doug's also doesn't run a helmet. So,
Doug's has a helmet?
No, he doesn't have a helmet. So basically,
he's got one cape. I think you let this Magby go down, and then you open up the bench space, and then you get Snorlax fully set up, and then you have Tyrogue, and then maybe you top deck like a Darkrai or whatever. Because like I said, Snorlax can just chill in the active spot for quite a long time.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
And then if you do get, get the Darkrai down, But the issue is
retreating. But there's also the Shaman though. Like, you mean like the chipping from, like that's what happened with.
But it's probably fine though.
Right.
Because you're healing 20 every turn. I guess you probably lose that battle. Never mind. He doesn't have Darkrai though. He has Giovanni. He's got Tyrogue, but he doesn't have Darkrai. So you're kind of forced here to probably let Mantite go down again, but you can't do that though. So you might have to go into Snorlax and just retreat all of those energies off. But then that leaves you with nothing. A very bad scenario to be in here. The solo Oricorio, no Darkrai.
Also, I bet you Ohoo has other stuff, but he's just like not.
Yeah, he does. He's just not benching it.
Yeah, he's just not 100%. Benching it. So
there's no reason to. Because without the Darkrai down, but he could have lost to the 3-card combo this turn, which would have been funny if he had it. So maybe he's not holding anything, but he's gonna go ahead and just Giovanni slap here for 50. So if he does top deck the Darkrai, he can bench it, ping, KO, and then go into Snorlax. But the Shaman might come down here as well. The Shaman coming down would be crazy. Either way, though, I mean, an interesting lead to this game, is it not? I wish the Cape did anything for the Tyrogue, but it really doesn't. So
There's the
Here comes the Arceus. He's got like 10 cards in his hand, though, dude.
There's the cord.
The cord is big. The cord's big, but it doesn't. The cord doesn't actually work if you go down to the Dark Ping. Just keep in mind.
Oh, it does not.
You have to be KO'd by damage.
Well, here comes Shaman.
Yeah.
Here comes Shaman.
No, I don't think it does. He might just go into Arceus, but then you get KO'd probably. You think Shaman comes down? He red cards though. That's huge because if he draws into Dark Ride.
Yeah, no. Oh my. Guys, there was
Giovanni, bro. He has game in hand. He has game in hand, Taj.
There was a world. There was a world where Ohoo did not give his opponent
both cards. Both cards. We KO with Dark Right Ping, and then we Giovanni 140 into the Arceus. It's over.
Oh my lord.
It's over, bro.
Oh my.
Red card is a lie. Jeff Hoogland was right. Hoogland was right.
Oh,
he was right all along.
Oh my lord.
He was right the whole time, dude. No one. We need to cut red card from the deck. We really do. That's crazy.
There was a world. There was a world where Ohoo did not give his opponent the exact 3 cards.
Dude, shout out to Jeff Hoogland. That's incredible. That is an incredible opportunity to be. And he had played his other Giovanni the turn prior, so like that was his only Giovanni in the deck at that moment.
As we go to a game 2.
Wow, dude. This is what we came for. I think this is what the people live for, Taj. This is peak Pokemon Pocket experience. Everybody's having a good time. You know, no Suicune, no Greninja. Everyone's just absolutely loving the game as we know it right now. What are the chances of that particular scenario of events happening that game? Like from the very beginning, right?
Oh,
like
wait.
the Tyrogue, Giovanni, 150. No. You set up Snorlax the 2 following turns. You get red carded into second Giovanni and Dark Ride.
Yeah, no, it's 100% because why? We're at the Pocket Mads tournament 4, and it is like, this is and like you said, absolute cinema, right, Mads? So
ridiculous.
Absolute cinema.
That's crazy, bro. That reminds me of like back in like literally a year ago, like there was an Ursa Days tournament where in Genetic Apex where it was like Pikachu, Zapdos, and Mewtwo in the finals, and it just came down to whether or not he flipped coins with Zapdos and he won a kid the Mewtwo for game, and it was like, all right, you know,
that's the world, you know.
The Pokemon Pocket hasn't changed.
Yeah, but yeah, Maddie, here it's the same game. Here we go. Doug's 92 versus Ohoo. This is our finals. If Doug wins this match, he wins the whole tournament. But again, Ohoo, with now 2 birds in the active, we have the Tapu Koko as well as the Oricorio, but also the Wombo combo as we see on Doug's hand.
Just needs the Darkrai, I guess.
Just needs a Darkrai. But again, keep in mind, the Oricorio is not in the active, so...
Yeah, and this is kind of like the same scenario, too, where, you know, he can just sort of, like, he can set up the Arceus, and then when the Oricorio does come in, if it does... You know, he just does that, right? And Arceus will effectively do the same thing as Snorlax last game. So I think you just set up the Arceus, and then you just will KO the Koko on your second turn, unless he retreats, right? So then you're just kind of win the game because then you have the Tyrogue Giovanni stuff in your hand. So I actually just think that Doug's might dominate here, unless again like something unforeseen happens. But I mean, he's got kind of everything he needs to win the game here, other than a Darkrai. So yeah. It's fairly likely at some point you just draw it.
Ohoo does have again hand disruption, so if it needs to happen.
He's got the red card, right?
Yeah. But the red card could also give him more cards that he needs.
He's got that thing on him. He's ready. I don't know. Again, like, this is a weird scenario. Like, I feel like Doug's is kind of just popping off. He's been in, like, the right place at the right time both games here. The Koko lead in other scenarios would be nice, but going first, staring